are in Missouri, and they do make that trip. But the reason for that is because they're so convenient. They are open late on Wednesdays and Thursdays, early on the other days. That is to accommodate your schedule. And I know a lot of people that have been messaging me have been asking me about specifically that. What's that dentist? Because you always talk about their hours. Yeah, it's great. Fountains Family Dentistry, like I said, they're in Fairview Heights, easy to get to off of Highway 64, and they do everything. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need done, not just your cleanings, but that's where you start. FountainsFamilyDentistry.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet store. Have you been suffering with foot pain, knee pain, low back pain, or plantar fasciitis? Maybe you've tried all kinds of remedies with no relief.
It was terrible. I was in tears a lot. It hurt that bad. For 2 years, I was watching these commercials thinking, this can't be real. You know, you're never going to find out if you don't try. So my legs and my feet do not hurt like they did before Good Feet.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Dearborn's.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Come in and try the Good Feet feeling today. Comfort, energy, performance, and pain relief at the Good Feet store.
There's a big red barn where you say green. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn with locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage, the laundry, and the kitchen, and save space in your cabinet? Hi, I'm Bruce Fabrizio, inventor of Simple Green. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like. Or catch up on entire shows within 24 hours of air. 97.1 FM Talk. Experience the rewind with the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry
So
Show.
if there were truly materials of this classification level, and it's been publicly reported elsewhere that there were materials related to nuclear programs, for example, if there was that sensitive level of information being held, why did Justice Department officials wait 18 months after the end of the Trump presidency? What changed that made this immediate?
I don't know, but if the Trump people represented that they provided all the classified or national security information and didn't, that's a serious problem. And I can tell you, anyone in the intelligence community that had documents like that marked top secret SCI in their residence after authorities went to them, they would be under serious investigation.
So Adam Schiff answering a question from CBS's Margaret Brennan saying, why did it take so long for them to go after these incredibly important secret documents? And that's a non-answer from Congressman Schiff. The thing, a lot of people are talking about that clip. A lot of people are weighing in on it. Was this important then, or did it just become important now? What's with that time gap? I think that's an important question that needs an actual real answer. But I want to talk about something else that she said, that Margaret Brennan said there in that CBS interview. She refers to the idea that he had nuclear classified information. And the phrase, it's been publicly reported elsewhere. For me, that's the baseline of how all of these other hoaxes, and they have been hoaxes, when it comes to what President Trump had to deal with in the first campaign, the Russia collusion story, completely fabricated. Not only a made-up story, but it was made up by his political opponent. That's a huge problem to understand that the way the entire Russia collusion story, like this is a very key issue that people like you and me need to be laser focused on, which is where is the truth? What is the actual evidence that exists that could give the FBI just cause to go into Mar-a-Lago and raid the home? What is real? There's nothing wrong with taking what we know and then formulating an opinion on it. But the key here is you have to take what you know. And what we do these days is spend a whole lot of time taking what we've heard and formulating an opinion on it. And in a world where there's a huge industry, of which I am a part of, discussing these things, putting together the pieces so that we can try to understand what's going on in the world. If you don't dig deep enough to know what's true and what's not true, and you're basing your perspective on what happens next on the phrase, it's been publicly reported elsewhere, well, that's how we got Russia collusion. They impeached Trump over that. The president of the United States was impeached by Adam Schiff, who can make a blanket statement such as, well, anybody who has classified documents that could be a danger to the national security of the country, that should be looked into. Well, yeah, duh. Everybody agrees. Everybody agrees. We just don't trust you and your merry men to actually do that in a way that is fair to the president of the United States, but even more so to people like us. Donald Trump has said it before. I think it bears repeating again. They're not after him. They're after you. If you look at the vote totals, the on-paper vote totals of 2020 presidential election numbers, 75 million people wanted Donald Trump to be the president of the United States. That's more than wanted him to be the president in 2016. In the midst of lies and deceit, with people like Adam Schiff and all of the people who are so invested and dedicated to protecting themselves and their positions of power, who worked tirelessly from before the time Donald Trump was elected president in 2016 through this point in time, August 15th, 2022, the entire time, Donald Trump has like 94% negative coverage by the media. He's had to be constantly poked and stung and agitated and clawed and scraped by the media trying to get to him so they can show the whole world, look, you see what we've been telling you this man is? Now you can finally see for yourself. We are in that same point in time on this timeline that we've been so many times before. If you're an objective person and you're looking at this scenario, and I would say it would be of anybody who would be raided by the FBI. Is it possible he did something wrong? It has to be possible. It's possible anybody did anything wrong. But are you going to buy into that? And the only way that you can make that decision for yourself is if you dig and you dig and you dig and you dig and you just try to find out what the truth and facts are. And it's impossible to do that because that's not presented to the American people. You get the opinions, you get the thoughts of an individual mind that's in many cases on both sides of the aisle, part of a bigger hive mind who's going to come out and throw punches and call names to the people on the other side. And then we all end up exactly where we started, which is on the opposite sides of the room. And when we're on the opposite sides of the room, they can appropriate you for votes. It doesn't matter if we hate each other. It just matters if they get their corner to have more people in it than the other side. Having an end goal of a room of people who are staunchly standing in their quarters, having the end goal be to where these people mix together and blend together and have a great time, all intermingling, even though they still have the same thoughts on policies and still have the same thoughts on personalities and politics. If we all start mingling together and having conversations that prioritize one another over our political party, all of a sudden we've sucked every ounce of air out of the room, the stuffy room that they're existing in, just waiting for the division to reach peak level right around Election Day. And the way you do that is you just throw everything up in the air. It's been publicly reported elsewhere that Donald Trump has the nuclear codes. There's a lot of things that have been reported elsewhere. And I guess if that's your standard for journalism today, there's really nothing that's off limits. The way that the entire Russia collusion story got the legs that it needed was Christopher Steele, who created the dossier that smeared Donald Trump with a bunch of lies. None of that was corroborated or proven true. In fact, it was proven to be made up by Christopher Steele and paid for by the Hillary Clinton campaign. That's crazy stuff. That's crazy, crazy stuff. It's so crazy to think that there was a political campaign who paid to have a fake story created, and then the media globbed onto it like a parasite to suck the life out of it until there was nothing left right before an election happened. And then fast forward 4 years later, Hunter Biden's laptop, which is actually real information that he left off at a MacBook repair store with a bunch of salacious things on it, but most of which is adherent to what the American people's interest should be in, is his nefarious relationships with foreign countries that he was trading on the power of his dad, who was the vice president of the United States of America at the time, and then also a potential candidate for president in a coming election. That was all real. And if you talked about it, you got banned. That's tyrannical crap, people. Bottom line, that is fascism. Because the people who have the power, be it in the government, be it in the media, the people who don't not just control the actual power structure, the people who've been elected into these positions, especially appointed into bureaucratic positions, then they own the message. And, people always want to call the right fascists. You have to control, you have to have a state-run, a state-approved messaging system in order to employ fascism on people. You absolutely cannot have a First Amendment in full flex with people running around saying all the things they believe and think all the time. You can't do that and employ fascism in a country like the United States when you have 330 million people in it. It's not possible. The number one thing you have to do is learn to control the message and control the way people receive the message. And then you have to control the way they communicate the message. You think the media is in the lap of the fascist Donald Trump Republican Party? I know. Stop laughing. You think Donald Trump is able to control the message and the narrative? The only way that you could argue that he controls the message is by saying if he wants it to be red, he should come out and say it should be blue. And that's how he gets it to be red. Donald Trump could reverse psychology himself into getting the narrative to potentially be what he wants it to be, but that's the only way it could possibly happen. I was just listening to a report on Fox News earlier today, and apparently the second dude, Mr. Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband, was at Whole Foods in Brentwood. Hannah, did you hear this story? I don't know how.
I did not.
his entourage, his detail, parked in all the handicapped spaces while he was inside Whole Foods shopping. You think that the Trump family, you think if anybody whose last name Trump had to go into a grocery store, why is he in the grocery store anyway with the detail?
Good question.
Instacart, make it happen. You think that if the Trump family goes and takes up even the space next to the handicapped spaces, that they're not going to be second, third story on national news?
Blasted.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't forget about it either.
Photographs of big black SUVs. I wonder if they're all driving electric vehicles in California. I hope they are. Showing them taking up all of these handicap spots at Whole Foods. If you are the person running the fascist government, you get to decide whether or not that's a story. You get to decide whether or not that's something that the American people are going to consume. And the most important part is controlling how they feel about it. The people who have controlled the narrative, whether it be from the Oval Office, whether it be from bureaucracy, bloated bureaucracy, government that is on steroids throughout Washington, D.C., has rooted itself deep in the state of Illinois. People in Jefferson City and Missouri have fought very hard to keep that out of the state of Missouri. The places where government has run amok, even at the local state levels, have been able to employ across the board messengers, soldiers that are out to win the battle with words, to keep you from saying the things that they don't want you to say, and even better, encouraging you to say things that they can then use to criticize your very existence. If you flip on MSNBC, if you flip on CNN, if you were to look at a slide deck from a college campus, if you were to be looking into the entertainment industry and you were to show a white guy in a ball cap that has an American flag across the top, maybe camo pants, maybe cargo khaki pants, and a belt, tucked in shirt, kind of muscular. Maybe it's a guy who just got done serving in the military. He's 32 years old, and he's standing out in front of his farm with a hunting rifle. Does that scare you, or does that make you proud to be an American? That illustration that I've just created in your mind of a white dude who served his country, wants to come back and have a piece of land that's all his own, to protect it with the Second Amendment, to provide for himself, to not ask from other people. That's a scary depiction for some people in this country. That's what fascism does. It controls the narrative so that once they can paint that picture in your mind and make that guy the scary guy, that's a lot of power. That is an incredible amount of power, because then you control the group think of millions of people. And that's playing on emotions, that's playing on personal sensitivities. And when you get people thinking with their emotions more than thinking with their sensibilities and their brain, you can push them into the corner of the room to vote the way you want. Let it kind of ride out for a couple months after you get reelected. And if you're in a 2-year cycle, man, you got about 6 months in office before you have to start it all over again. In the midst of everything we're hearing about Donald Trump, I certainly have my conclusions and my thoughts and opinions about where this came from, the legitimacy of the whole process. But I think it's important that we wait and call scoreboard. I'm not going to dance on anybody's grave right now. I'm not going to sulk and say, oh my gosh, America First is over, because America First has always been bigger than Donald Trump. He created a monster that they cannot contain. It's the scariest part of this whole thing for them. I don't know what's going to happen next. 1 week later, I have more questions than I had after we found out that it happened. Every piece of information that bubbles up, it develops more questions in my mind with zero answers. So here's a question I have for you, and you can vote for it. Vote on it in the Anti-Fry YouTube live chat poll. Do you believe it's possible that the FBI had just cause to raise raid President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home? Do you believe it's possible that the FBI had just cause to raid President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home? You have three options. Yes, likely. Yes, but not likely. Or no, not possible. I can't wait to hear what you think about this as well. So leave the comments in the live chat. If you so choose, you don't have to do that to participate. You can just go vote. And I never see who votes what. It's anonymous. I almost said unanimous. Not usually unanimous. It's anonymous. So if you want to go cast your vote and not comment, that's totally fine. But if you do want to be potentially involved in the conversation at 2:45 when Hannah gives us the results, leave a comment and we will watch them as they come in. Stick around in the 12:45 segment here. We're bumping Wiggins America 1 hour later so we can speak with Steve Cortes. He's a former Trump campaign operative. He also writes a Substack, and he's also talking to us about Darren Bailey and that Illinois governor race. Stephen Moore at 105 and Kathy Salvi at 125. She's running to take Tammy Duckworth out of the Senate. We're going to find out more about her in the 1 o'clock hour. Back in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. This is a place for people to come together. Right here, right now. Make your voice heard. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
So if you go to thediamondshop.net, that's the website, thediamondshop.net, and you sign up to be a VIP, you can get some pretty great offers. It's free to sign up. Members get special discounts and merchandise. I also want to talk to you about the great sale that they have extended through the end of August. They're continuing their clearance sale where you can get up to 70% off all in-stock jewelry through the end of the month. The Diamond Shop is a destination place for people shopping for jewelry. And I'm talking about if your budget is $50, if your budget is $5,000, go see the people at the Diamond Shop. They're going to respect each of you the same, and they're going to help you find the perfect piece to complement what your search entails. I love the people at the Diamond Shop. They have been around, the business has been around since 1910. They're in Clayton. They're very easy to get to. And when you walk in, you're immediately going to understand the longevity of the Diamond Shop's success. Again, sign up to be a VIP on their website. And also a reminder, you can cash in on that clearance opportunity up to 70% off in-stock merchandise that they have in there. And also special financing available with 6 months, same as cash. Get it all online at thediamondshop.net.
Mark Cox here with a question for homeowners. Would you sell your current home if you found your dream home? Well, of course you would. That's why you need to call Gloria Lou with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria has a program that kind of eliminates the worry of selling your current home and then finding that next home with inventory being as low as it is. Gloria is an expert at finding listed and unlisted homes that match your specific criteria. Just let her know exactly what you're looking for. She'll find that dream home in the neighborhood of your choice. And once Gloria finds a homeowner who may consider a sale, not yet on the market, Gloria's going to inspect that home, set up a private, no obligation showing, and negotiate on your behalf at no charge if you want to make an offer. If your offer is accepted, Gloria will also help you sell your existing home. Learn more now. Call Gloria at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you filed a tax extension in April, don't wait until it's too late to handle your tax issues. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Drury Law Firm. Every year, thousands of Missourians file extensions when their taxes are due in April. But what people don't know is the extension only moves your deadline to file your return, not to pay your taxes. So if you didn't pay anything back in April, you could now owe taxes plus interest plus penalties. You think you bought yourself time, but really you've just added to the total bill. If this sounds like you, call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I am a local tax attorney with an A+ BBB rating, and I will meet with you right away to help handle your tax problems quickly. The deadline to file your return after an extension has already passed, so call the Lance Drury Law Firm now before it's too late. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Don't go around tonight, but it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the right. I hear hurricanes are blowing.
But let me ask you, it's called the Inflation Reduction Act. But the Congressional Budget Act Office, which is nonpartisan, said that there would be a negligible impact on inflation this year and barely impact inflation at all next year. I mean, isn't it almost Orwellian? How can you call it Inflation Reduction Act when the nonpartisan experts say it's not going to?
So I appreciate that. I appreciate the question. We've actually addressed this, the CBO. It was the top line number. There's more in there that shows that it will have the money remember how we're doing this too. It's making sure that billionaires in corporate America are paying their fair share, making sure that that the tax code is a little bit more fair. And so when you do that, when you put it in its totality, you will see that it will bring down, lower the deficit, which will help fight inflation.
Is inflation reduction what this bill is for? Of course it's not. Which is the easiest way you can tell is right after they passed it, go and look at the reports that are on it, and people are calling it a climate bill. They tell you after the fact when it really doesn't matter anymore. And to go and label it something like Inflation Reduction Act, that's what I was talking about in the last segment. It's about words. They're preying upon how dumb they think you are. They need you to be willing to surrender your thoughts and opinions that would have to be formulated based on a little effort on your part. They're banking on you being more dedicated and more loyal to the red jersey or the blue jersey that they want you to put on in the morning than you are willing to look into the crap that they're actually peddling through their spokesperson. Call it what it is. If it's a climate bill, if after it passes, the journalists and the people who are in Congress are going to celebrate what this is going to do for people's ability to participate in saving the planet, call it that. And if the simple name change that causes it to be a little more explanatory as to what it actually is about makes it so the thing won't pass, then don't freaking pass it. It's every day with this same mentality. All the details shift around under the understanding that the narrative, what's the political story? I played last week. Last week I played the Nancy Pelosi wrap-up smear segment. You guys remember when I played that? Nancy Pelosi explained in 2017 what she she iterates as the wrap-up smear, which is a political tactic, and she's very open and honest and upfront about it. She doesn't hide it. She's like, this is what you do in politics, and it even has a name.
We call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, you call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it, and then you write it, and they'll say, "See, it's reported in the press that this, and this." So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident.
That is so bad.
Does it make you mad?
Yes, that makes me mad. I want to say I can't believe it, but I can because it's Nancy Pelosi.
Mm-hmm. That's Nancy Pelosi of old. In the Trump years. When they tell you these things, listen to what they're saying. Are the Republicans exempt from employing what she's talking about? Of course not. It's the name of the game. Is it what the Democrats have always done? It's the Democrat playbook on Republicans. It's why Donald Trump drives these people so crazy. Because the way the Democrats have won elections leading up to 2016, when Donald Trump, like the Kool-Aid man, came onto the presidential candidate stage and blew everything up and changed the whole narrative of the game. I'm kind of imagining the Kool-Aid man with like an orange toupee and orange Kool-Aid. Just saying. The way the Democrats would win is you take a guy like Marco Rubio, who is my guy in the race. I still like Marco Rubio. I know a lot of you out there think he's a swamp rat. I don't. I like him, but he's a senator in Florida right now, so he's one Republican vote to me and to you, unless you're listening in Florida. Thank you. I really like Marco Rubio. I thought he was upstanding. He was the type of guy who I thought I would be proud to look at and say, "This is my president." And he was polished. He was experienced. He was very, very tough on China and on foreign relations. He has, I believe, a father and a mother, definitely a father who's from Cuba, and would sing the praises of the idea of what it means to be American in the midst of communist Cuba and people who flee and risk their lives for a chance here in the United States, give everything up, leave it behind, and flee from the idea of communism. That is perspective. That's perspective that I don't have. I can only listen to and lean into. I was born with the silver spoon in my mouth of being American from the day I arrived on this earth. And I am so incredibly grateful and blessed to be that. But if you know people who weren't born into this understanding and this existence, and they know what the other side looks like, feels like, is like because of real personal experience, and then you hand them the American dream, which is opportunity. Just opportunity. Freedom to choose. Freedom to pursue something that would make you happy. That's what we have here in the United States. And you look at a guy like Marco Rubio, to me, not for everybody, I know. To me, Marco Rubio espoused that idea. It was kind of a new, fresh take on the United States of America, and I thought it was good. I still think it's good. You know what took Marco Rubio down? Donald Trump calling him Little Marco, getting under Marco Rubio's skin, and Marco Rubio making a comment about the size of Donald Trump's hands. Why did he go there? What was he thinking? He tried to out Donald the Donald, and he didn't win. And the Democrats, that was the point where I realized this is not going to be the way these things normally go. Because Democrats win elections by waiting for the Marco Rubios of the world, the polished Republicans, the people who are true to party and you know, all of those old GOP ideals, and they live publicly lives that are, you know, the picture that you get in the frame when you buy the frame from the store. That's what these politicians in the Republican Party look like, and the Democrats inflate them up so that they can fall very far when they go down. Marco Rubio did it to himself. He put himself right in the line of fire with the proficiency of the Donald Trump attack. And then Democrat after Democrat after Democrat after Democrat did the same thing. They put themselves in the line of fire, and Donald Trump doesn't lose when you play on Donald Trump's field. He just doesn't. And they didn't have a plan for that. Somebody who's crass, somebody who doesn't talk the way, air quotes, Republicans are supposed to talk. Somebody who didn't advocate for things the way Republicans are supposed to advocate for them. Like saying things like, I make a ton of money and I know how to use the tax codes to my advantage. And yeah, there are a lot of people who are like me who understand exactly how to do that. But since I know how to do that, I can help create a more fair America and change our tax code and provide middle-class America, the backbone of our society, with the advantage that they deserve. He said those types of things. He didn't try to act like I'm come from humble beginnings and all. He's like, no, I have a many leather-bound books and a gold-plated plane and lots of women. The Democrats didn't know what to do with it, and they've been turning themselves inside out ever since. The entire game right now is played, and the currency is anger. And I say, don't play on their field. Don't do it. Suck the life, suck the air out of the room, move away from the standards and the rules that they set and say, no, I don't need to do this. Look for the facts. Pay attention to and understand when people come and have an opinion, the difference between opinion and facts. We're going to speak with Steve Cortes here in just a minute. He's a former Trump campaign operative, Fox News. You've seen him on Fox News many times, and he has a lot of investment in the state of Illinois. As somebody who used to have a radio show in Chicago, he's going to be with us in a minute, and we're going to listen to what his opinion is. Just remember, we all have opinions. You know what they say about those. YouTube live chat poll. Do you believe it's possible that the FBI had just cause to raid President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home? Yes, it was likely. Yes, but not likely, or no, not possible. The Anti-Frey YouTube live stream. You can go search it. You'll find us. We're live right now. And vote in the poll. It's sitting there right in the live chat. You can also leave a comment. Steve Cortes with us when we return. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The Mark Reardon Show. Scott Murphy is an old college pal. In high school, we bid off baseball garage sales. We don't realize in garage sale culture, 8 a.m. means 6 a.m. Who knew?
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So I want to talk to you about lakesiderenovationanddesign.com is the website. You are thinking about the project in your home, could be your place of business as well, but you want that renovation done and you've been thinking about it, you've been saving for it. Now's the right time to give Lakeside Renovation a call, Renovation and Design a call, 636-978-5000, 636-978-5000. They are the go-to. These are good people, the best in the business when it comes to delivering the quality and the satisfaction that you want for this investment in your home. Exterior projects, James Hardy siding, window replacement, the Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows. This is the best possible material to build a window from. Stability, strength, and beautiful aesthetics options for you to transform the exterior look of your home. And why not the crowning opportunity to change that front entry doorway with a beautiful door from Lakeside Renovation and Design. You will not be disappointed by their work. You will love working with these people. And the biggest referral that they get is people who have worked with them and say, oh, I need them for the next project. And they go out and they recommend them to their friends and their family. 636-978-5000. You can find them online at lakesiderenovationanddesign.com.
The Wall Street Journal reported that home equity is at record levels. And while home values continue to soar, rising interest rates make it harder than ever to unlock equity. But what if you could cash out your home's equity right now while it's still sky high and not have to move? You can with Truehold.com. Truehold will buy your home for full cash value. Best of all, you get to bank all the cash now and continue living in your home. And Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance too. Let's review. Truehold pays your home's full value in cash fast. Use your cash to do everything you've dreamed of, like travel or pay off debt. Call 855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com for the smarter, faster way to cash out your home's full value without having to move. 1-855-300-9993. 1-855-300-9993 or go to Truehold.com.
Attention veterans. If you were stationed at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you and your family may be victims of toxic water poisoning. Cancers, birth defects, deadly illnesses have all been linked to the contaminated water. Congress is now holding the government accountable. You could be awarded financial compensation for your suffering, but you must act now. Get your free case review. Call True Law at 877-560-8555, 877-560-8555, or visit sickvets.com. That's sickvets.com.
Hi, this is Ken and Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hall of Fame weekend presented by Edward Jones, August 26th through the 28th, when the Cardinals host the Atlanta Braves. Sunday, August 28th, 25,000 fans, ages 16 and older, take home a mystery Hall of Fame car parade bobblehead. Thanks to Ford. Who will you get? It could be Willie McGee, maybe Jim Edmonds. Find out on Sunday, August 28th. Great seats remain. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Cardinals Hall of Famer Willie McGee. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
Fiesta Cardenales, presented by He Gets Us, returns to the ballpark on Sunday, August 28th. With the purchase of a special themed tickets, fans will receive an exclusive Cardinals Sugar Skull bobblehead. Plus, a portion of each ticket sold will benefit the Hispanic Education, Cultural, and Scholarship Foundation. Come early for our pregame heritage event and the Budweiser Terrace, featuring Orquesta Chévere. That is Sunday, August 28th. Fiesta Cardenales. For tickets or more information, visit cardinals.com/theme.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. In addition to heating and cooling, Air Comfort Service also offers indoor air quality, water heater, and AeroSeal duct sealing services. Get in your comfort zone with aircomfortservice.com.
Up-to-the-minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
My kitchen says my bread is folded. I got a good job at the dollar store. 1 foot in the hole, 1 foot getting deeper with a broken mirror and a blown out speaker. And I ain't got much else to lose.
The statement by Attorney General Merrick Garland is not nearly enough. The American people deserve to know all aspects and all details. And let's take a step back. This is Joe Biden's Department of Justice and FBI targeting his most likely presidential opponent in 2024. It is not news to the American people that President Trump is very likely to run for president. This was incredibly an overreach. It's un-American. And there's going to be a lot more questions from the FBI that the American people deserve. And I will tell you, this is systemic. This is the same agency that perpetuated the Russia hoax for years, that tried to undermine this administration. And this is just blatant politicization. And it should concern every American. I will tell you, my constituents are deeply, deeply concerned about the politicization of the FBI and Biden's DOJ.
that is Elise Stefanik, who is vowing to get to the bottom of this. And the rest of us want to know answers. We have a lot of questions, very few answers, and saying we're going to investigate this. Good to hear. Now do it. I hear a lot of talk, and I don't always see all the walk that we need to see. Here to talk about this issue, but also a very, very important race facing Illinois voters this coming November. Steve Cortes, he is a former Trump campaign operative, media personality as well. And you can also read his work on Substack. Steve, welcome back to the show. Thank you for being here.
Hey, you bet, Annie. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. I want to give you the open-ended opportunity first to comment on what you've seen as somebody who has a little bit of an extra connection to what the Trump family has done and built so far in Mar-a-Lago, but then watching the FBI come in and do what they did. Is there any substance to this? What are your thoughts?
Right. No substance at all. I mean, look, it is so clear that the FBI has been systemically corrupted and politicized, and that it and other agencies of the national security apparatus of the United States effectively act as political police. They have been weaponized in that regard, first by the Obama administration, and now, unfortunately, by the Biden administration, have targeted Donald Trump for political harassment. And the fact that they were willing to go and search the home and office of the presumptive opposition nominee, the presumptive Republican nominee. He's not officially announced, of course, but at this point, he is clearly the favorite, and he has given every indication that he is running. It really represents a dangerous escalation in our country. And it reveals, I think, though, also at the same time, Annie, as dismayed as we should properly be by this violation of the rule of law and precedent and any norms of decency in this country, as dismayed as we should be, on the other hand, I do also want us to take away some confidence in it. And what I mean by that is this was an act of desperation, clearly, because it's so far backfired, and the polling clearly shows that. But it has backfired on the administration. But I say it's an act of desperation because I believe that they realize that they are in such dire political straits in terms of popularity and approval, particularly as it relates to the economy, which continues to, unfortunately, just implode in this country under the mismanagement of Joe Biden, with a lot of help from Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and some establishment Republicans. But as their popularity declines massively, they are desperate to try to create some sort of massive diversion. They're desperate to go on a fishing expedition, which is nothing more than a witch hunt, and saying, let's go peruse and rifle through all of the president's personal and protected objects and papers so that we can try to find something that we can pin on him. And regarding Merrick Garland, Elise Stefanik is exactly correct. Now, like you, I want a lot more action of those congressional Republicans, especially if and when they take leadership starting in January of next year. But she's exactly correct in talking about Merrick Garland, who comes out and literally tells the country in a very smug sort of way, I am not going to say anything. We only speak through our court proceedings. And then literally minutes, maybe hours later, leaks to the Washington Post, the Amazon Bezos Washington Post, that, we were after nuclear secrets at Mar-a-Lago, a story that is so preposterous that I think even people who aren't fans of President Trump, will actually, if you press them, admit, yeah, that's a bit of a stretch. By the way, if there were nuclear secrets there, if they were actually top-level nuclear secrets, how on earth did our law enforcement wait a year and a half to go and get them back? I mean, that alone shows you how ridiculous and fanciful that story is.
We're speaking with Steve Cortes right now, and I want to encourage you to follow him on Twitter at Cortes Steve, and also check out his Substack. You will love what you're reading there. I know a lot of people, I've been talking quite a bit about this, that one of the quotes that I read from a CBS interview was, it's been publicly reported elsewhere, and then they just throw out just rumors and accusations.
Right.
I mean, that is the playbook to try to get Donald Trump. And it's amazing to me that the man who's been impeached 2 times, that he has come out so far flawless. Like if there was something, if there was a there, what have they not tried to do to uncover that?
So listen, he is certainly the most investigated man in American history. He might be the most investigated man in all of history. But I agree with you. And listen, I had always worried, quite honestly, as somebody who has worked on and off for President Trump for the last 7 years, I had always worried that perhaps if they dig enough, they're going to find something. Not that he did something nefarious, but any significant businessman who leads a business empire, right, who has a complicated financial life, it's not uncommon that something that was not nefarious can still be in a gray area of the law. And I always figured, eventually they're going to be able to tag him with something. Well, they haven't been able to, which actually shows me that my hunch was wrong and that President Trump has actually lived a really exemplary life. Regarding ethics and the rule of law, and the fact that they have investigated him to this degree and still can find nothing, and yet still they continue to harangue him, is, I think very revealing. But the bigger point here too, that I hope the American people take away is, yes, Trump is the target, right? At least for now. But he is very much the target sort of in our stead, as our representative. What they are really doing is targeting this movement, the America First movement, patriotic populism. We've seen it already, the way that they have treated nonviolent offenders, for example, from January 6th. We've seen it the way the treatment, the investigations of people who were simply using their First Amendment right to object to toxic indoctrination in their schools at school board meetings, who have now been targeted as, quote, domestic terrorists by the FBI. So there's something much bigger at play here. Trump, for now, is sort of the convenient target. He's sort of the heat sink that gets all of the attention. But believe me, the administrative state has much grander designs than just Donald Trump.
We were talking about law and order when it comes to president of the United States, but I'm going to bring it to my home state and your former home state of Illinois. And you've written this op-ed for the Center Square in Illinois. It's on your Substack as well. But you're saying that Darren Bailey, who's the GOP nominee for governor to defeat J.B. Pritzker, is the law and order candidate. What can you say about Darren Bailey and what actual difference could he make?
Right. No, listen, and I think he is. I think he's a law and order candidate that can save my former city, Chicago, which I raised a family in the city of Chicago for 25 years, and my wife and I thought it was untenable, mostly because of crime, frankly. That is, and we lived in one of the, quote, good neighborhoods in the city that was still rife with violent crime, unfortunately. In terms of, let's be concrete, though. What are the differences he can make? Well, for one thing, he will advocate for far more aggressive prosecution. Like your city of St. Louis, Chicago has a terrible Soros-backed prosecutor. But there's a lot the state can do. There's a lot the Attorney General of the state, for example, can do to prosecute when the local prosecutor, in the case of Fox, it is Kim Fox is unfortunately the state's attorney's duty first and foremost, but there's a lot that the Attorney General of the state can do. A second thing, and this is key, because this is absolutely a state issue, a return to stiff cash bail for violent offenders. That is an absolute necessity for the whole state of Illinois, but particularly for the city of Chicago. Also, to firmly back the move, to back police officers. Darren Bailey earned the endorsement both of the Chicago Fraternal Order Police as well as the state of Illinois Fraternal Order Police for big and important reasons. And then longer term, those are the nearest term changes and reforms that he can institute as governor. Bigger picture, things like funding students instead of failing school systems in places like Chicago. And again, a lot of this is very relevant for St. Louis as well.
Yeah.
But my focus, since we have an election in Illinois, is right now on Governor Bailey, or I hope to be Governor Bailey, and funding schools that actually work and actually educate children. Those are some of the longer term solutions, right, to this crime problem that continues to just unfortunately inflict pain upon Chicago. I would point out, by the way, Lori Lightfoot really reacted violently, rhetorically so, against Darren Bailey's very good and passionate op-ed in the Chicago Tribune that he published about Chicago and its crime problem. And she said that he doesn't understand the city. I would point out that as of now, it was another extremely violent weekend in the city of Chicago. In this month of August so far, 27 people killed in Chicago, 193 people shot. And it's August 15th, so we're halfway through the month. 27 people killed, 193 people shot in what was described by Lori Lightfoot as a summer of joy. Well, it has not been much of a summer of joy, that's for sure. And unfortunately, the city is suffering. We need new leadership. Darren Bailey, I believe, represents that new leadership.
Radio, so I'm up against a hard break. So I got literally like 10 seconds here. Is Illinois in play?
It's in play. It's in play because of inflation, because of the economy. It's in play.
Steve Cortes, we love having you on. Can't wait to get you back here to talk even more about these issues. Thank you so much for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you again soon. Steve Cortes right there. You can listen to that full interview on the podcast or just rewind on the Odyssey app. We'll be back with Morning Frey Show in a minute. Don't go away.
Is your roof full of ugly algae black stains? Just one roof restore treatment from Frederick Roofing, and you've got a clean, beautiful-looking roof for a small investment. If it has anything to do with roofing, you need to call Frederick Roofing at 645-2000. 645-2000.
Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
What is it that's made Frederick Roofing the #1 choice for more than 80,000 St. Louis roofing customers?
Is it Frederick's passion for customer satisfaction? Is it Frederick's own expert, licensed, and insured crews? Is it Frederick's ability to always provide an immaculate cleanup when the job is complete? It's all of those things and more. Frederick Roofing, the smart call to make for your commercial and or residential roof.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Genesis of St. Charles. When I say those words, maybe you're not even sure that Genesis is a car brand. Well, it is. It's young luxury, and I urge you to check out genesisofstcharles.com. Poke around there and see what they're all about. I think you're going to like what you see, and I think you're going to love them if you tend to drive one first, because I always do. I love to test drive new cars. Got to drive one of theirs, and man, it has everything you can dream of. And yet again, Genesis is not necessarily one that's on a lot of people's radar when you're looking for luxury automobiles. Here's another thing. Other dealerships are treating the MSRP right now like it's an imaginary number. They're just blowing right through it because of the market. They're charging pretty much anything they want. Well, Genesis of St. Charles has never done that, and they're not doing it right now. A lot of dealerships, they can juice you like an orange. They're not going to do that at Genesis of St. Charles because they never have, and they treat people right. That's why they have a lot of repeat business. So visit genesisofstcharles.com. You're going to love what you see. genesisofstcharles.com.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
New reaction from the former president. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Former President Trump responding to anger over last Monday's execution of a federal search warrant at his Florida home.
Former President Trump, in an interview with Fox News Digital, said his people have reached out to the Justice Department to try and quell outrage over the raid last week, where boxes of highly sensitive documents were seized. The former president said the FBI operation was the latest in a series of scams that have ushered in a very dangerous time. He called the search of his home a sneak attack and again hinted at the possibility that agents could have planted evidence. An unsealed property receipt shows the FBI took 11 sets of classified documents from Mar-a-Lago last Monday.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Senator Lindsey Graham says he'll appeal a judge's ruling that he must testify before a special grand jury in Atlanta. That panel is investigating whether then-President Trump and his allies broke any laws while trying to overturn his 2020 general election loss in Georgia. The New York Times today reporting former New York mayor and Trump attorney Rudy Giuliani is a target of a criminal investigation into election interference in Georgia. China has announced more military drills around Taiwan as the self-governing island's president met with members of a new U.S. congressional delegation. Massachusetts Democratic Senator Ed Markey in Taiwan saying the U.S. has a moral obligation to prevent unnecessary conflict with China.
At this moment of uncertainty, we must do everything we can to maintain peace and stability for Taiwan.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's recent trip to Taiwan angered China, which claims Taiwan as its own. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is tested positive for COVID-19. Austin says he's fully vaccinated and double boosted and now experiencing mild symptoms. America's listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Gotta love this weather in August. Partly sunny skies, nice and comfortable this afternoon. 82 for the high. Tonight, more and more clouds take control, but all is dry for evening plans. 65. Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Gonna be some rain showers around from time to time on Tuesday. Could be a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning, but nothing strong or severe. How about 75? That's it for the high on Tuesday. Clear it out Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
The department filed the motion to make public the warrant.
If this raid in Mar-a-Lago was meant to intimidate Donald Trump, they don't understand Donald Trump.
Stay connected to everything happening in the world, the country, and the community.
You can't fudge this. I don't think they're going to get away with this because they have to produce a whale of a piece of evidence on Donald Trump in order to justify this. And I don't think they have it.
This is 97.1 FM Talk.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan guy. He is the one who can help you with your financial situation and improve it pretty quickly. Did you know that he can close in like 2 weeks? It's crazy. It's fast. And if you were thinking about, do you have that burdensome thought about credit card debt? Maybe you've had to purchase something lately. It was a bigger expense and that interest rate on that credit card's pretty high. So you sit there and if you think about it, it creeps into your brain. It gives you anxiety. It stresses you out. I want to give you an opportunity to solve that problem using the bagel loan at Stewart's American Mortgage. I will tell you, I'm a 2-time customer myself of the bagel loan. When you use the bagel loan, you don't pay any fees that other folks out there are going to charge you when you go through a mortgage refinance. You can take a cash out mortgage refinance on your home, use the equity that's in your house, and use it to pay off that high interest credit card debt or that bill that is stressing you out, or maybe invested in something to repair your home. And when you do it with the bagel loan and Stewart's American Mortgage, which is the only place you can get it, he won't charge you any of those fees that everyone else out there will. 314-324-4440. Call or text 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, Board and Batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today. sidingexpress.com.
It's ridiculous over here in Illinois. It really is.
How much worse does it have to get?
So expensive nowadays. I wait to the last minute, hoping that the prices will go down.
How much longer can you wait for relief? Governor Pritzker's doubling the state's gas tax gave Illinois some of the highest gas prices in the nation, yet the potholes in Chicago could swallow a CTA bus. Now Pritzker is forcing businesses to lie to their customers for his benefit.
Only thing Illinois is doing is delaying a gas tax increase and calling that a tax cut.
In Illinois, you have to sue to be able to tell the truth.
Gas station owners in Illinois are suing the state over a new law they claim violates their free speech rights.
How much longer will you be made to play the fool? In the last 4 years, Pritzker added another $2,165 to the tax burden Illinois families shoulder, which was already the highest in the nation. How much more of Pritzker can you afford? How much worse does it have to get before you make a change? Paid for by people who play by the rules pack.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494. Or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Improve your gas mileage by properly inflating tires and taking your car in for a tune-up. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
So what specifically will this bill do to lower costs for Americans right now?
This first of all, immediately, people will be able to lower the fuel costs in their home. There's a 30% tax credit that you can claim in 2022 for installing energy efficient windows, heat pumps, energy efficient appliances. That is right away. And on top of that, of course, if citizens want to install solar panels on their roofs so that they can generate their own power, that's another 30% tax credit. And of course, there's the tax credits that are at the dealership for the automotive sector, for electric vehicles.
I'm getting really sick and tired, folks, of the generous bureaucracy and representatives in our nation's capital who keep giving us tax credits as if, we'll let you keep a little bit more of your money here and a little bit more of your money there if you do what we tell you to do. This is my money. You got to take it from me and then make me say thank you when you give some of my hard-earned money back after I have spent money on things that you're prioritizing for my home. Yeah, go put solar panels. Go put solar panels on your house and replace your windows. We'll give you a tax credit. If you put energy efficient renovations into your home, guess what? We'll let you keep a little bit more of your money that you had to give to us because we raised your taxes and we've been spending like drunken sailors. No offense to the drunken sailors of the world. I'd rather hang out with you than the 87,000 new IRS agents who are going to come make sure that you have crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's. Oh, these people. It's like, remember where the money comes from in the first place. Hannah, you're busting your butt. You've got your associate's degree. You're 20 years old. You're in the workforce. I hope it's everything you hoped and dreamed it would be. Surprise. You start to, make a solid paycheck and you see the money go out of your paycheck. There's always people your age who you're a little more politically not I think you're much more politically smart than your peers, but that's a subjective opinion. You're somebody who is more in tune than most people who are 20.
Yes.
I know that sometimes you say like, you're maybe intimidated by the subject matter and the breadth of what we talk about here on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's a lot sometimes, but I do think I'm a lot more involved in politics than people my age, which is sad because I feel like right now in your early 20s is a really important time for you to understand what's going on. And a lot of people my age just don't. It's funny. This weekend I was at a party and I heard Can't Stop by Red Hot Chili Peppers. And
you're like, this is Eric Schmidt's song, dude.
I went up to someone and I'm like, are you involved in Missouri politics at all? And they're like, yeah, kind of. I'm like, Eric Schmidt? And they're like, huh? And I'm like, he loves this song. And they were like, what? Like they just, one, did not care. Two, thought I was crazy. But I heard that and I was like, yes,
you're going to have the best jokes in 20 years. It's like you have this moment where you're looking around the room and you're like, nobody, let's see. Okay. It's like being somebody who's a huge sports fan in a room full of people who I don't know that this is necessarily the opposite of it, but like really into Harry Potter. I don't know anything about Harry Potter. And I've been in rooms full of Harry Potter fans and they're all talking about
then
things.
all I wanted to talk about was the primary. And everybody's like, why are we talking? I'm like, this is so fun, guys. Come on.
You were at a party this weekend.
Yes.
Trying to talk about the Missouri primary.
Yes, I was. And I'm proud of it. And
I win. I have won. This is wonderful, Hannah. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Brad, what are you a nerd about that you're around people and they are not? Cars.
Cars. Yeah, cars for sure.
This room, except for Ryan Wiggins' automotive intellect.
No, it's not just this room. It's most places. There's not many people that like cars as much as I do.
But if you start talking to someone who knows cars,
yes,
that's an endless conversation.
It's like a tuning fork, and we just feed off of one another, and it just goes off.
Yeah,
it's great.
I look at people who are Hannah's age. We had a question in X's and O's on Friday, and folks, this is neither here nor there. But if you haven't heard our X's and O's game that we play on Fridays, you're missing out. And it is, if you've never listened to an Annie Frey Show podcast before, I'm going to go one step further. If you've never listened to a podcast before, Google Annie Frey Show podcast, find us on some app that you recognize or website that you've been to, and go look at the X's and O's segment, because it is a hilarious, fun game show. We had the people in from C.A. Jones last Friday to play, and it was a great game. But you were asked a question, Hannah, about who ended up ultimately getting the seat on the Supreme Court that Merrick Garland did not get. And it was Neil Gorsuch.
Right.
I did not know that.
But then, just to back you up, Hannah, I wanted people to understand that was in 2016. And you were
I was 14 years old.
14 years old. So if you have people in your life, it doesn't even have to be because of youth. It could be all of a sudden there's a newfound interest in politics and the cost of everything is sky high, and you're looking around and people who don't know the details and haven't been invested and can't tell you like the details on the Missouri primary at the party you're at on the weekend. Welcome those people into the conversation and don't make them feel stupid.
Yeah, it's not like I was, attacking everybody that didn't understand or shoving my beliefs down their throats. I was just like,
it's exciting. This
is fun. You guys should be interested in this. It's really impactful, because a lot of people my age, they're like, oh, I don't own a house or anything, so the taxes and all that don't matter. I'm like, oh, but it does.
Yeah.
And it's good to have discussion. I wasn't arguing with anybody. I wasn't, slamming anybody that was disagreeing with me. I was just having a discussion, and I appreciate. And if someone did disagree with me, I would love for them to have a conversation with me, and maybe I could teach them something they didn't know. Maybe I could learn something as well.
It's funny. So people are commenting on your willingness to bring up politics at a party.
Oh,
are not, Brad, you work with youth, but maybe, is it junior high school mostly?
Yeah, mostly.
So once you get into college, it's a little different.
Yeah.
But don't you know, none of the people in this room right now are like partiers. Well, right? Not in the pejorative sense of the word.
She's a party animal.
She's more than we are. I am not. I like sweatpants parties. But you know what it's like to be at like a college party or around people that are that age, and politics comes up and people are obnoxious about it, but they're on the side of the other side. Nobody ever tells them to shut up.
This is true.
Why can't Hannah go infiltrate, since we have somebody on the inside, Brad?
There is no reason. There's no reason that you can't. And there's actually a really good reason why you should, because there needs to be another voice. There needs to be a different side. So why not build Hannah up, educate her, make her basically the Terminator of college-aged women for politics, and just have her go in there and in love and kindness destroy any bad arguments that are made from anybody on the other side. I think that would be a great thing, Hannah.
What if we rented her out? What if we made her for hire? Like have Hannah come to your party that you have for young, if you having a party with young liberals, hire Hannah.
Hire a
I would need to be
conservative.
paid a lot of money to walk into that fire.
There could be a lot of money in this. You could go in and you could casually suggest conservative-ish based policies in a way that caused people to consider things for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk in there, yo, dudes, how about that flat tax?
This is why we're not hiring you. You sound
Well,
like
I'm not cool.
You sound like a dad.
But I mean, I am cool, but I'm not cool.
No, we're past the age of being able to be cool.
Mhm.
We don't need to be cool.
Nope.
Chris F on YouTube said political escort.
Political escort. That's not really what I was going for, but I mean, it's just kind of like you go in there and we're going to get Ryan Wiggins to create a commercial for this.
Okay, great.
When you have people who are willing, you get around. I mean, I got to think that a lot of people listening right now have kids who are of college age, who either have children who have contorted into these people that they don't recognize because they went to college, or they've got friends who come around. And this is a target-rich environment. You could go in and you could just start casually having these conversations, and everyone's going to want to talk to you.
I hope so.
You're a secret agent.
Yeah. This could be a good thing. But yeah, why am I nervous right now? I feel like it's gonna happen. I feel like
I was gonna say this is probably not actually gonna happen unless people want to hire
Yeah,
you.
but think about how much money you could make if it would take off.
Yeah.
That shouldn't make you nervous. That should make you excited. Because like then you wouldn't have to worry about like car issues or anything like that.
She has. Yeah. John says that you're the sacrificial lamb. No, of course you would have to sign up for it.
Mm-hmm.
She'd have to want it. She could make it whatever she wanted to. She's already going to tell people that the Red Hot Chili Peppers can't stop. She's already doing it.
Right. So might as well monetize it, Hannah.
Yeah.
Hannah, as a political influencer on TikTok, you could do that. But I hate TikTok.
Oh, I hate TikTok
Like,
too.
I know that TikTok is a thing. I know that that's where the young kids are. I know that like TikTok doesn't need me to validate TikTok's existence, but also China.
Right. Right. Oh my gosh. And how much they get into your business in the terms of service. I forget who, I think it was Joe Rogan did a deep dive on it. And he's like, yeah, they look at everything in your phone, not just a little bit, like everything in your phone. And then they look at who you contact and as far into their devices as they can go. They just dive in and they circle around all of your other devices and they find out whatever it is. It's like, we need to collect this for advertising purposes.
Baloney. Chris says you'd need security. So we need to come up with somebody else who can be your security, like undercover security. And I don't think that Brad and I are the person.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like when I picture this in my head, I see Ryan Wiggins with an AirPod in his ear. Looking.
He's listening to Wiggins America podcast while he's doing it.
Yeah, something happens to me and he's like in the corner eating gummy bears. I'm like, hey, you're supposed to be working.
Drinking White Claws that he's dumped out and filled with soda.
Yeah.
I would rather have him dress up as like a girl bestie for her and be like, she has the boyfriend.
But
that was really good, Brad.
But ask her about the
I've heard
Missouri
it a
Senate
lot.
primary.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or Illinois, because I'm very invested in Illinois politics.
What would we call this? We'll have a commercial put together. We'll see if it takes off.
Great.
Hire Hannah, political spy.
Political espionage.
I don't like the word influencer. I would never want anybody to call me an influencer.
The word,
I think
it's
my generation ruined that.
Because they don't want to, none of them want to be influenced. Actually, they all think that they can't be influenced. They just want
very
to
good point.
They just want to influence.
That's a really good point.
Thank you. Every once in a while.
It happens.
I get one in there. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, let's talk to Kathy Salvi. We have not had Kathy on the show yet. Guess what? She's running for Senate in Illinois to unseat Tammy Duckworth. Boy, that would be a seat worth winning. We'll talk to Kathy Salvi in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show.
Change your mind about leaving me.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Bring it to me. Bring your sweet loving. Bring it all home to me. Yeah.
Here's 97.1 insider Hans von Spakovsky.
The Obamacare case. There was nothing in the Constitution that gives the federal government the power to tell you and me, you have to buy health insurance.
97.1 FM Talk.
So when you work with the Closet Factory, which I have in my home, and I love them, and I think about them all the time. Why? Because I spend a lot of time every day in my closet. I have a place for my shoes. I have a place for my long dresses. My husband has a place that's customized to fit his pants. And they said, do you want to hang your pants long ways, or do you want to put them over the hanger or on the hangers where you fold them in half? He preferred in half. The whole thing is customized for our needs. And I'm going to tell you what, we don't have this like massively impressive. We have a shared walk-in closet. It's not huge. It's not fancy, but now it actually kind of looks fancy because Closet Factory came in and made it a space for us. And that's going to add to the value of the home. They did the same thing for the 2 bedrooms with my girls, and they made one closet fit 2 girls in it. That's been fantastic. And then they took our laundry closet where we had the side-by-side on the second floor and made it stackable and customized shelving in there. We actually turned it into what I would really refer to as a laundry room. They gave us space back in our home. If you have an unorganized area in your home that you want Closet Factory to come in and rejuvenate for you, they can give you that space back and maximize the usage of your home. For all the information that you need, you can call them and mention the Annie Frey Show, 314-961-4300, or visit them online at closetfactory.com.
At Cordell & Cordell, we focus on representing men in domestic relations cases.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
We recognize that our clients are going through perhaps the toughest time they will ever go through. We understand that everything that's important to them is on the table. Their assets, the role in their children's lives. That's an immense responsibility that our clients entrust us with, and we take that very seriously. We've been trained to do that. We've helped thousands of clients before, and it's our hope that you'll choose to entrust us with what's most important to you.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives, which includes protecting men's financial means to do so. Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's St. Louis area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 600 Kelwood Parkway, Suite 310, Town & Country, Missouri, 63017. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
This is Mark Cox from my trusted friend and realtor Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. She's the agent I've been recommending for years now. Take my recommendation and call her, because if you're planning to sell your home in this crazy seller's market, you don't want to leave a single dollar on the table. You're going to love working with Gloria, and here's why. She'll guarantee to sell your home at your agreed to price and time frame, or she'll buy it, guaranteed in writing. Her secret, well, she already has the buyers, thousands of them looking for homes in your price range in your neighborhood. Lawrence and Shelby sold their St. Louis home in just 3 days at $17,000 over asking price with multiple offers. That's when their previous agent had produced 0 results. They chose Gloria. You can too. Call her today at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show.
Song
train coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam.
Mayor Lightfoot's doing a great job for the people of Chicago, and I am proud to support her for another term.
So there you have, Tammy Duckworth encouraging people to support Mayor Lightfoot, doing a great job. We just spoke with Steve Cortes, not really endorsing too much of the Mayor Lori Lightfoot disaster that is in Chicago right now. But it's not so much just Chicago, because we're downstaters. We know that. We're in the southwest quadrant of the state. And when you think about Chicago in the context of Illinois as a downstater, there's a lot of weight and gravity to it. It doesn't necessarily make you happy, but wouldn't it be great if Chicago actually worked in a way to benefit the state and didn't always feel like it was a drag when it comes to crime, when it comes to high taxes, when it comes to increasing liberal policies? The state of Illinois has so much to offer. And honestly, Chicago is a beautiful, fantastic city. It should be the beacon of the Midwest. A huge opportunity where we live in the middle of the country for commerce, for business, a destination for people to live. And the Democratic Party has taken everything about what makes our state great and flushed it down the toilet for their own political purposes. We talk a ton on this show about the Missouri Senate race. Eric Schmidt winning the primary, and it's considered a very strong Republican seat and will likely stay that way. Not a lot of people talking about the Illinois Senate seat that is up for grabs, but we are. And we have talked to the Trafalgar Group. They said that Tammy Duckworth is vulnerable, more vulnerable than anybody else has. And Kathy Salvi is the woman who's got the nomination, and she's with us now. Candidate for the United States Senate to unseat Tammy Duckworth, Kathy Salvi with us now. Thank you so much for coming on with us today, Kathy. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, Annie, it is great to be on your show. And I am at work for the people of Illinois since I entered this race. And I got to tell you, I am thrilled. I feel the earth shaking, and we're going to do it here in Illinois and make Illinois Missouri.
I think it's something that a lot of people are opening their eyes up to for the first time. Is you could just go out there and say, what do you have to lose? I mean, Illinois has been run by deep Democrats for quite some time. Voters have been represented by people who are deep Democrats. And if a Republican gets in there from time to time, there's a version of Republican that the state of Illinois is told that they can have. Tell us what kind of Republican, Kathy, that you are.
Oh, gosh, I'm a common sense conservative my whole life. I want to vote for someone like me. And you mentioned the difference between voters in Missouri and Illinois. I plan to make Illinois the type of climate for families and voters and small business so that people will stay here and not look to take their retirement dollars or move elsewhere. We're going to make Illinois a place where people flock to. And I was just this weekend in the Bud Billiken Parade, 2.5 mile long, and the reception in Bronzeville, just south of the loop, south of the city of Chicago, was extraordinary. Every one of the Republican candidates were there going, and I just watched in marvel at how positive it was. And it just goes to show that endorsement you started off your show with, the endorsement Tammy Duckworth giving Lori Lightfoot the nod of approval. She just shows you how out of touch she is with what's happening in Chicago. Lori Lightfoot is universally disliked. I think her negatives far outweigh way over 50%, and people want to change in the city of Chicago, but people want to change in the Senate from Junior Senator Lightfoot. She's just not here for us. And I think that 10 years of elected office and 6 years in the U.S. Senate, and what do we have to show for it? Skyrocketing inflation. Grocery prices, they just don't hurt Democrats. They hurt all of us. And how about the gas pump? Prices we haven't seen, they're double what they were last year. I'm in this race because our economy is in the tank, and crime is escalating everywhere. We don't back our police, and that's just wrong. And parents deserve to be in the front seat of their kids' education. And here we are after 2 years strict COVID lockdown, and our kids are going to school and they have to face indoctrination instead of education. It's just unheard of. So it just shows how out of touch she is. She is a rubber stamp for the failed agenda of Joe Biden. And I tell you, a lot of you mentioned Democratic Party. I say no, it's the Democrat Party. And a lot of good, open-minded Democrats say, no, this is not the party for me. And thank goodness they can go in November and vote without anybody knowing. They're going to be pressing the Republican ballot, for many of them, for the first time. Why do I know this? Because they tell me. They tell me on the side of the parade route. They tell me, they whisper it to me. Sorry, Kathy, I had to take Democrat ballot in the fall, but I'm on board full throttle for the Republican in November. So we're going to have a red tidal wave here in Illinois, Annie.
Man, I think that is something that gets people in the state of Illinois a little more perked up in their seat because they want to have hope. And right now it's pretty hopeless, which is why a lot of people have just said, you know what, forget this. You can pick up and leave Illinois and move to one of these free states that usually are, well, they're always red states. And you can change the situation for yourself. But with each person who leaves, it makes the situation, the burden worse for the people who stay. Kathy, I want to ask you, speaking with Kathy Salvi right now, and people can go to Kathy Salvi, SALVI.com to learn more about Kathy. I want to know how you intend to go to Washington, D.C. and to represent Illinoisans, both from Chicago, but also the people outside of Cook County who live very different lives, have different concerns, different expectations, and different disappointments right now with the leadership that has been in Washington, D.C. with Tammy Duckworth.
We have 54 days to the election. And I have told many people, every group I've gone to, whether it be the kitchen table of a farmer with 3 or 4 of his neighbors, or whether it be a meet and greet out in Geneseo with folks who just come off of work, their shift or whatnot, it's just been incredible, the reception people have given me. And I commit in the next 54 days, get to know me, but give me a chance. I say, listen, you know how you've been disserved in 6 years. People don't even know what she's done for them, and she's never around. Give me a chance. Elect me. Just watch and wait till you see what I can do. One thing I would have done is I would have voted against that bill that passed with a 50-50 vote, and Kamala Harris having been the tie-breaking vote, the Inflation Reduction Act. It will do anything but reduce inflation. In fact, it's a tax on anyone earning $75,000 or less a year. 25% of the tax increase will go to them. And then from those who earn $75,000 to $200,000, they'll be taxed. 50% of the new tax will hit them. So this is a tax that hurts small business. It hurts families with dual income households. And it's just absolutely, it'll do the opposite of what it promises. It'll keep us in the recession, and it'll keep inflation where it is. And to arm 87,000 new IRS agents to go after the mom and pops of our community. Let me say this about a U.S. senator. A U.S. senator doesn't just affect policy for the state of Illinois, but that will be my focus, to bring business back here and to maintain a lifestyle where families can actually raise their kids and the kids can go to school and be educated. But a U.S. senator affects policy for the entire nation. So you may be able to run to another state, but you can't hide from the bad policies from this president and his administration. And I ask all of you in the listening audience, get on board Kathy Salvi for U.S. Senate. This is truly a grassroots campaign. And I need each one of you to, I'll tell you, I'll take $1 to a $5 to $10, because I'll tell you what's going to happen is when real people start to believe. Our war is against many people who say it can't happen in Illinois. And I challenge people, no, it will happen in Illinois because of the fine people in this state who will be behind my candidacy.
Talk to me about Southern Illinois and the importance of the strength of Southern Illinois, what this community offers to the state and how they're going to be necessary to helping you unseat Tammy Duckworth and really shock the nation should that seat go red in November.
What do I know of Southern Illinois? I remember Cheryl Matthews in St. Clair County said, "No, Cheryl," she said, "Kathy, don't forget us down here." I said, "Are you kidding? I need you." I plan in my first year to do a town hall in as many counties as want me and invite me. But I've been a candidate on the ballot for 4 months, but my whole life, I have family down in Southern Illinois. I've got a family in Central Illinois. My kids have been to Andasang for years over at the Shawnee National Forest. And I've been basically, my trips to downstate and Central Illinois have been as a mom, as a wife, as a lobbyist, no, I shouldn't say lobbyist, going for pro-family, legislation I was asked to help lobby for in Springfield. But more than that, my husband 26 years ago was the Republican nominee for the U.S. Senate. And back then, that's when it was a 50-50 Republican. Most of the counties down there were not red counties. They were Democrat counties. And back when he ran, he would win many of those Democrat counties by, a margin of a couple hundred votes. But now I'm so happy to say, look at what's happened in the last number of years. The policies out of the people are turning around and saying the policies from the Republican Party help families. They help small business. They support law enforcement. They just are common sense. So many people are waking up and saying, listen, I've got letters to prove it. I've never in 50 years voted Republican, or I've never considered voting Republican. Here's my donation, and I'm on board. And then I return and say, thank you. We need you and many others. And I see this happening. And on the south side of Chicago, those folks, their grocery bills it's hard for them to raise their families as much as it is ours. So I think that truly my candidacy, what I'm seeing out there, people are waking up and they want to support a good common sense conservative. And I will work hard for all the people of Illinois. I promise that.
Last question for you before we let you go. We're speaking with Kathy Salvi. The website is KathySalvi, SALVI.com, to learn more about the candidate running for the Illinois seat currently occupied by Tammy Duckworth in the Senate. Kathy Salvi, a lot of people talk about crime as a main issue, law and order. We're seeing on a national level with the investigators raiding Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate that people are wondering if the legal system is fair. But it seems like anytime law and order and crime are discussed, it always comes down to gun control. What is your stance on the Second Amendment and how Illinoisans can be confident that if they send you to the Senate, that you are going to protect those Second Amendment rights that are given to us, as the Constitution says, by God?
Absolutely. I'm a constitutional conservative. In my private life, I have argued before the Supreme Court on a Fourth Amendment case. You talked about President Trump, what happened, the shocking invasion of his home. But as to the Constitution, I'm a strong supporter of the Second Amendment. And as to my case before the Supreme Court, it was a Fourth Amendment case. And the search and seizure is something that has to only be allowed in the most imminent situation. And I think that we have a crisis of confidence in our Justice Department and with the FBI. What happened was shocking, unprecedented, an act of desperation. And I think that we need to have a government that's not only transparent, but accountable for the answers, what led to that raid last Monday.
And a follow-up on that question, I think that a lot of people measure an individual Second Amendment support in the state of Illinois by your thoughts and opinions on the FOID card, which is a firearm owner's identification card required in the state of Illinois to purchase guns and ammunition. Do you support a FOID card, or would you support abolishing it?
I don't understand how more gun regulation is going to help us with our ramping up crime in the street. It's just going to hurt the law-abiding citizens' right to defend themselves. And I feel that a chipping away of the Second Amendment is not the answer to helping bring down violent crime or any gun crime. What we need to have is an approach which will look at the crisis of mental illness that we have in our communities. And in 2018, as a professional, I run a business for the last 3 decades, and I have also, seen in my professional life and in our community what mental health crises in families has done to tear many communities apart, especially after COVID, with so many people isolated. I think what we need to do is we need to look at this issue, which is the overwhelming issue that we have. And as for the FOID card or any thing that would restrict a law-abiding citizen's right to maintain and protect themselves. And I think that is not the answer to bringing down the crimes that our communities face and the safety in our schools. So I'm a big supporter of the Second Amendment, and you'll see that when I'm elected to the United States Senate.
Well, if you would like to go ahead.
And if I could just say, we need to restore trust. That's the bottom line. We come off of, I talk about a 2-year COVID lockdown, and if there's anything we need to do is we need to begin to dialogue and face these issues. And Tammy Duckworth has sat in that role for 6 years, 10 years total in Congress. And I would suggest that where we are today is part of her lack of leadership and her silence on the issues that matter most to Illinoisans. And I want to be the working senator, a senator who can be trusted and accounted for, a citizen senator, if you will, so that we could help government elected officials respond to the needs of the people, those of us who are hit hardest here at home. And I guarantee that for Southern Illinois, Central Illinois, Northern Illinois, City of Chicago, everywhere I go, you're going to just give me a chance and vote. Remember, Kathy Salvi, U.S. Senate. We will make a difference and put Illinois on the map, the map for all Illinoisans. I'm grateful, Annie, for being on your show.
Well, I appreciate the time with you. KathySalvi.com is the website for people who want to learn more about you and also to support you. Replacing Tammy Duckworth in the Senate, like I said, would be earth-shattering across the country. And Kathy, we're going to continue to follow your campaign as we approach November, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Appreciate it. I'll look forward to that. Thank you, Annie.
Bye-bye. KathySalvi.com. Quick break. When we come back, Wiggins America is going to stomp into the studio and talk to us about Ukraine and all of the people, the famous people who are using, I guess using is the question, the opportunity to go to Ukraine to potentially inflate their importance, their worth, their value. I don't know. Let's listen to what Ryan Wiggins has to say and his report in Wiggins America. When we come back. Don't go away.
One kid dreams of fame and fortune.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
One could end up going to prison.
The Mark Bearden Show.
Scott Murphy, an old college pal.
In high school, we bid on baseball garage sales. We don't realize in garage sale culture, 8 a.m. means 6 a.m.
Who knew?
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
So when I talk to you about air comfort service, and I do so on a day where it's 74 degrees out in August, it's beautiful outside. Go be outside in your comfort zone today because your comfort zone is likely just outside of the door. However, you go a week ago and it's 100 plus degrees in the heat index. And who knows how far away we are from that first cold 50 degree, 40 degree evening that's going to hit St. Louis. And then we're going to go back and forth like crazy. If your air conditioner has not been serving your comfort zone this summer, and if your furnace maybe was doing the trick last winter, I've heard this winter is supposed to be, I heard someone say it was supposed to be a hibernation zone winter. Okay, yeah, whatever. You want to make sure that the inside of your house, though, is going to keep you warm. Now is the time to reach out to Air Comfort Service and have them come to your home so that they can do the tune-up maintenance that you need on your HVAC system and let you know ahead of time if there's anything you need to address. They will connect you with amazing financing opportunities, great rebate opportunities if you have to purchase like I have in the last few years. Air Comfort Service is who you can trust. It's who I trust in my home. Please give them the opportunity to earn your business by calling 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Nobody wants to miss the important things in life, and if it's because of bad vision, you don't have to. Mark Cox here from my friends at Brenton Vision. They can help you out. That's why I want you to take 2 minutes today to call my friends at Brenton at 314-375-2020 or go online to BrentonVision.com. Your eyes are as unique as your fingerprint. Since Brenton Vision is the only place in Missouri offering all 7 forms of modern vision correction, they can create a customized treatment plan just for your vision. They helped my wife out. She chose the lens replacement therapy and now sees better than ever, and she loves it. You can have that same experience with Brenton Vision. They accept flex plans and medical spending plans as well at Brenton. So don't let that money expire or go to waste. See your best. Do what we did. Call Brenton Vision at 314-375-2020 or schedule online right now at brentonvision.com.
Oh, Hank, what a wonderful spider web you have built for us. I love this fabulous space we have right here in the corner of the kitchen.
Thanks, Charlotte. I think I'll build us a vacation web in the coat closet. Maybe even one in Susie's room, too. Oh, no. It's the pest control company again with those green wheels. They always kill the mood.
This is Derek, the owner of All Solutions Pest Control. Give us a call today at 636-486-7888.
If a pest-free home is your goal, call All Solutions Pest Control.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com or call us toll-free at 888-367-6512.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is without any inspections or need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-782-8000 or at chrisbuyshomesaintlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligation, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay their rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. And check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And get the offer you have been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Chris Buys Homes in St. or call 314-782-8000.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get your HVAC system ready for summer with a cooling system check included with all maintenance plans from Air Comfort Service. Maintenance plans start at $15 per month. To get into your comfort zone, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Information to keep you moving. Dependable traffic, mornings and afternoons with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Come with me now. Come with me.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We got a little bit of a delay on Wiggins America today because we had to reschedule with Steve Cortes. If you missed that interview on the Odyssey app, if you're streaming us there, if you haven't checked us out yet, cool feature on the Odyssey app, you can just rewind right now to 12:45 when we started talking to Steve Cortes about the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago and his connection to that, as well as Steve Cortes. And when he answered the question that I asked, is Illinois in play in this November election, you are going to want to hear what he had to say. Go back to 12:45 and listen to that or catch it on the Annie Frey Show podcast. But now we have delayed.
So, hello, first of all. Welcome to Wiggins America.
Crickets.
Yeah. So looking at all these celebrities, I have a list here of all the celebrities, and it's kind of probably rattling around the back of your brain who's been there, who hasn't. But the latest one is Jessica Chastain. She visited Ukraine last week. President Zelensky, in his official Telegram account, said that for us, such visits of famous people are extremely valuable. He said, thanks to this, the world will hear, know, and understand the truth about what is happening in our country even more. And the full list of the last roughly 4 months includes not only Jessica Chastain, but Ben Stiller, Angelina Jolie, Sean Penn, and Liev Schreiber. Liv? Oh, really? Liev Schreiber. Okay. I like Liev Schreiber. I should have known how to pronounce his name because I like his stuff. But anyway.
Isn't that right? Isn't it Liv?
No clue.
Liv. Either way. They've all made trips to the war-torn country and done photo ops and things.
And the war is over, so cheers.
Yeah. Good job. You've done your job.
I'm just disappointed they didn't do it sooner.
I guess that's actually where I'm going with this is, do we think that this is worthwhile? Obviously, Zelensky does, but is this making any sort of impact on the war or the war effort? Or do you think this is more about branding for the celebrities themselves?
Who's paying for it?
I think they are. I think they personally are paying for these trips.
If it's not on taxpayer dime, I don't know that it even matters.
That's kind of where I've landed, is while I think this looks strange, because we're all used to seeing war through the lens of probably World War II, through the Iraq War, and it has a look. There's a look that comes with war footage. These things are strange. Even saying the phrase that this picture appeared on Zelensky's Telegram account is a strange new way of talking about war. And I don't know that it's really doing anything, but I also think if this were all that were happening, we weren't funneling lots of our own taxpayers and our kids' taxpayer dollars to them.
Who are they trying to influence?
I think they're trying to, what in their words, bring attention to a war that at this point, now early on,
to themselves.
Yeah, early on you'd say to yourself. Now they're saying, well, people are kind of forgetting that it's going on, so we're trying to just keep it in the spotlight.
So they need the American people to care about it so that maybe we would finally send some money over there to help?
That's what Ben Stiller said.
Yeah, except for we sent truckloads of money over there to help already.
Exactly. So he's saying, what Ben Stiller specifically said was, this is something I want to draw attention to so that people will donate to it, because there's a lot of humanitarian issues going on right now. Sounds good. However, $40 billion should take care of that.
I don't remember seeing any pictures of Ben Stiller over there showing humanitarian crises. I remember seeing pictures of him shaking Zelensky's hand.
Exactly. Isn't it strange to see a war now, though? Because what we're seeing is, I don't want to say it's the first time we've seen a war through the lens of social media, but it's the first time we're seeing it play out in real time via socials. And you're seeing the president, people in Ukraine are on the same platforms as we are. It's almost like you're looking through a funhouse mirror at the way a war is playing out as far as...
I don't think we're seeing the war through social media. We're seeing celebrity visits with their president. We're seeing Mrs. Zelensky on the cover of Vogue. We're seeing, I think probably for about 2 weeks, we were seeing what it looked like to be at war. And that was nonstop coverage on the majority of news channels showing us things being bombed and people being real human beings being affected by it. I do think there's value in that, but at the same time, I mean, at the end of the day, we elect people to represent us in government and handle these situations in the way that the American government's involvement in what's going on in Ukraine has to be what is the best benefit to the American people. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion. It might be an unpopular thing to say out loud, but it might be in the best interest of the American people to aid the Ukrainians from being attacked by Russia, but we have not made that case. If that's why they're doing it, they haven't made that case. And if you go back to Joe Biden's biggest criticism of the state of things right now, it's that the messaging hasn't been great and the media hasn't been fair.
Hot take, but I almost am glad to see celebrities putting their time and efforts into something like this rather than some of the other crazy issues that they often put themselves into. I'm like, well, hey, if you're doing this one, that's probably better than what you would have been doing otherwise, Sean Penn. So go for it. Don't know how much of a difference you're making, but I'm okay with it.
Sean Penn's been all over the map on social issues lately. It's at least interesting to see, not because you don't, or at least I always thought I could tune in to see what Sean Penn was talking about and think I know where it was going, but that's not the case anymore. He's talking about men being men and stuff. That's interesting. Stick around. When we come back, we're going to have Brad back in the studio along with Hannah and Ryan, myself, and we'll have a little conversation about the weekend and some other news stories that are facing you, including go vote on that YouTube live chat poll. Back in a second.
Wherever you live, from Berkeley to Bellevue to Richmond Heights to Melville, Glendale to Shrewsbury, the Central West End, Sunset Hills to Soulard, the one you know, Frederick Roofing, wherever you go. For a hole in your roof, for a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
314-645-2000. Aren't you tired of hearing ads that say they're the best, they're the experts, blah, 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 just one unsubstantiated claim after another? Well, here are 2 substantiated claims that actually mean something if you need roof repair or a new roof. With a family-owned business tradition of over 80 years and 80,000 satisfied customers, you can depend on Frederick Roofing, residential or commercial.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof. Frederick Roofing, 645-2000.
Thomas Helbig and his nephew Bob Kershaw are the Retirement Advisor Group. It's a family business. And when you work with Thomas Helbig, you are going to be part of the long storied history, the partnership that they have had here with 97.1 to be one of the clients who he's never had to lose a single penny. That is a boast that he has. That is an exciting thing to be able to say. He can help you when you're nearing retirement, get yourself positioned financially and mentally to move into retirement where you can bank on what you've saved over the course of your decades, working your career, sacrificing and making decisions to make sure that when this moment comes for you to retire and to enjoy pursuing those retirement hopes and dreams, that what you've worked hard is going to be there for you. You can give them a call and you can book an appointment with them and find out how they can help you by calling 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Or you can visit them online at retirementkey.com.
It's ridiculous over here in Illinois. It really is.
How much worse does it have to get?
So expensive nowadays. I wait to the last minute, hoping that the prices will go down.
How much longer can you wait for relief? Governor Pritzker's doubling the state's gas tax gave Illinois some of the highest gas prices in the nation, yet the potholes in Chicago could swallow a CTA bus. Now Pritzker is forcing businesses to lie to their customers for his benefit.
Only thing Illinois is doing is delaying a gas tax increase and calling that a tax cut.
In Illinois, you have to sue to be able to tell the truth.
Gas station owners in Illinois are suing the state over a new law they claim violates their free speech rights.
How much longer will you be made to play the fool? In the last 4 years, Pritzker added another $2,165 to the tax burden Illinois families shoulder, which was already the highest in the nation. How much more of Pritzker can you afford? How much worse does it have to get before you make a change? Paid for by people who play by the rules pack.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Concern over potential violence against law enforcement. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. The FBI and DHS warned law enforcement to remain vigilant as they received threats following the FBI search of former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. The former president today discussing the anger of some of his supporters.
The former president said, quote, "People are so angry at what is taking place. Whatever we can do to help, because the temperature has to be brought down in the country. If it isn't, terrible things are going to happen." But in the same interview, Trump accuses the Justice Department of abusing its power, and he says it's possible agents planted materials at his home.
Fox's Mark Meredith in Washington. Rudy Giuliani's lawyer says prosecutors in Atlanta have said the former New York City mayor and Trump attorney is a target of their criminal investigation into possible illegal attempts by then-President Trump and others to interfere in the 2020 general election in Georgia. Meantime, Senator Lindsey Graham says he'll appeal a judge's ruling today that he must testify before the special grand jury in Atlanta. Iran denies it had any involvement in last week's attack on author Salman Rushdie.
Salman Rushdie is likely to lose an eye after a man stormed a stage near Buffalo, New York Friday, stabbing the 75-year-old author several times. Rushdie spent the weekend hospitalized on a ventilator with severe wounds to his liver and an arm. The Indian-born British writer is the author of The Satanic Verses, a 1988 novel based in Quran imagery, but which satirized Ruhollah Khomeini, Iran's ruler and chief Islamist cleric at the time. Khomeini put a price on Rushdie's head worth millions, but Iran claims they are not behind the attack. The suspect, 24-year-old Hadi Matar, has an online history of supporting Iran's regime.
Fox's Evan Brown. Stock indexes are higher with just under an hour left in the trading day. America's listening to Fox News.
Every search you make, every click you take, they'll be watching you.
Tired of companies like Google and Facebook watching everything you do online? There's actually a simple solution. DuckDuckGo. It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with the push of a button. DuckDuckGo. Privacy simplified.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel V Pro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Gotta love this weather in August. Partly sunny skies, nice and comfortable this afternoon. 82 for the high. Tonight, more and more clouds take control, but all is dry for evening plans. 65. Tuesday, a mix of clouds and sunshine. Gonna be some rain showers around from time to time on Tuesday. Could be a rumble of thunder, a flash of lightning, but nothing strong or severe. How about 75? That's it for the high on Tuesday. Clear it out Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Right here, right now.
Democrats are much more likely in 2022 to be active in organizations helping candidates. Conservatives are much more likely to vote and to work on local school board elections. We need to add a few more things to our repertoire. We have to get involved with donations, actually attending meetings to help candidates, as opposed to only voting. And voting is very important, so I'm not minimizing it, but it's not all we can do.
97.1 FM Talk. Right here, right now.
So we had C.A. Jones in studio last Friday playing a little X's and O's, and I'm talking to you about the people who are building beautiful houses, turning them into beautiful homes for people on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River. CAJonesInc.com, or as I've said before, CojonesInc.com. I just think that's funny. You should go visit the website just for that purpose. You can see on their website the different layouts that they have for homes. They have ranches, 2 stories, walkout basements, 4 beds, 2 beds, so on and so forth. 1-car garage, 3-car garage. C.A. Jones can build you the home that you're looking for. I want to talk to you specifically, people who are sending your kids off to college for the first time. Maybe you're a new empty nester and you're looking around at this big house that has served your purposes for so long, and you're thinking maybe we want something smaller. And when you build something smaller, you get to have everything right where you want it, exactly how you want it. C.A. Jones can build you a house that you are going to think is of your dreams. If you want to learn more about what they can do for you, reach out to them. If you talk to them, mention the Annie Frey Show. You can find them online at cajonesinc.com.
Hello, this is Dave Walker, former Comptroller General of the United States. The federal government has grown dramatically, promised too much, lost control of its budget, and must restructure its finances in order to create a better future.
I agree, Dave. This is Ken Heisey from Heisey Advisory Group, and you're invited to a special event on Thursday, August 25th. Dave and I will talk about our country's financial issues and how they may impact your retirement. Learn why it's critical to take action now and discover strategies that can help protect your future. If you've saved at least $750,000 for retirement, call 314-328-6000 to register for this special event. After a decades-long mission to promote fiscal responsibility at all levels of government, you won't want to miss what Dave has to say. Call 314-328-6000.
Dave Walker is not affiliated with and does not endorse Heisey Advisory Group or AE Wealth Management, LLC. Heisey Advisory Group may not provide tax advice and is not affiliated with the U.S. government. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
When it was hot enough to fry a chicken in a bird bath, that's when young Jill Kelly noticed.
My dad still says the same things. Let's keep our heads in the game. Let's play the game the right way, everyone.
And as sure as bleacher seed sunshine, when it's real deal Holyfield hot, today's Jerry Kelly crew knows this ain't practice, and that winning means a cool customer. Need winning cool like that? Make the call.
Thanks for calling, Jerry Kelly.
And rally the home team.
JerryKelly.com.
Nature Valley is giving away back-to-school gear for free at the Retalk Shop. On TikTok, show how you reduce, reuse, or recycle with hashtag #RetalkForNature. And you could be served a code, unlocking 1 free item. While supplies last, terms and conditions apply.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. Summer items like garden hoses, pool toys, and lawn chairs are not recyclable and best donated to charity. Join Odyssey, and together each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
Mark Cox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian Kilmeade.
How about this?
Annie Frey.
Wow, we really got to change course.
Mark Reardon.
Coming together.
Dana Lash.
I mean, it's 2022.
Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. As far as midterm elections go, this is going to be an interesting week because there is that race in Wyoming and Alaska. Is that the two, Ryan? Those are the two big ones. I don't know that there are any other ones.
Those are at least the marquee ones, yeah, with Lisa Murkowski and then Liz Cheney. We'll see what happens.
Not just those two.
Oh,
I'm talking about the states.
You're talking about.
I'm talking
okay.
about who is running. I think it's. I'm googling it right now.
Texas too.
Texas is also in there.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. I don't think that anybody thinks. I don't even. Liz Cheney can't even think that she's gonna win her primary. The question will be, how bad does she lose? I am interested to see how she handles this because when you put a name like Liz Cheney out there for people to discuss, everybody has an opinion on Liz Cheney in the same way that everyone has an opinion on Trump when he is brought into the conversation. You already know before the details are discussed about why that is being talked about in the first place, people know how they feel about Liz Cheney. So there was a question whether or not she was going to even run this time around. And then she did decide she was going to go. And everything, like her entire legacy here is based on Donald Trump. Her willingness, any future that she has politically is based around her lack of support and willingness to take on Donald Trump. So of all of the different races that we've watched over the course of this entire midterm season, which has been going on for a long time, when you hone in that each night there's who won, who lost, and you go through all the different races in the state that make the national news. If it's local, of course, we cover more things than that here for Missouri and Illinois. But then there's always the Trump count. Who did Trump endorse and how well did he do? He's done amazingly throughout the course of his endorsements. So Jonathan Capehart, I hope I'm saying that right, is an associate editor for the Washington Post. It looks like he's anchor of Post Live and First Look and the Sunday Show on MSNBC. He tweeted out an article that I guess he wrote in the Washington Post, and he said on his Twitter, Liz Cheney's looming primary defeat will make her more powerful than Trump can imagine. That's how I read it. That's what, when I read it, that's how I hear it in my head. The idea that her looming, impending primary defeat is going to expand Liz Cheney's power, more powerful than Trump can imagine. Isn't that the exact same thing that people are saying about Donald Trump himself? And if Donald Trump has been made more powerful by his loss and his supporters, the people who do support him, just like the people who do support Liz Cheney, in the midst of adversity, are they going to go, well, we threw our support behind Liz Cheney, but she was not able to pull it off, and so I guess I'll just move on to the next candidate? Or do they double down on their support for Liz Cheney? Did they double down on their support for Donald Trump? Yeah, they did. So I don't really see how Liz Cheney, even if she becomes more powerful when she loses her race, I don't think Donald Trump is more powerful now than he was. Should he have won? I don't believe the delusion that Donald Trump somehow or another is unfallible. I think that he is a prime target. Liz Cheney's not going to be a prime target. She's the person picking the targets. So maybe she'll have the access and the benefit of being part of the system that it makes kings and makes queens and breaks people when they choose to be highlighted as a target. But if you put Liz Cheney on the chopping block and the people of Wyoming say, yeah, we're good, we're not interested, thanks for coming, please, try again. If those people decide to replace Liz Cheney, there's very, very little that Liz Cheney is going to be able to do for those people anymore. She's going to have to go broader than this. Listen to CNN here.
Are you planning to vote for Liz Cheney?
Can I cuss? Hell no.
Are you planning to support Liz Cheney?
Absolutely not.
What are your thoughts about Liz Cheney running for a fourth term?
Personally, I think she's had for 3 too many.
Keep in mind, in 2020, Donald Trump won about 70% of the vote in Wyoming. So Liz Cheney's work on the January 6th investigation isn't playing so well with many Wyoming voters.
So this is CNN report. CNN scoured Wyoming for somebody who could say something nice about Liz Cheney, and they couldn't find anybody to do it. And in the meantime, it's going to be Trump versus Liz Cheney on the ballot. This is probably the closest we'll ever get, unless Liz Cheney were to run for in the primary for the Republican nomination. I mean, wouldn't you look at this as Trump versus Cheney?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's really a way to look at it other than that.
And when you look at the Washington Post and they're like, this will make her stronger than ever. It's almost like a reverse psychology thing. Like, well, maybe if we say that, they'll be like, oh, we don't want her to be that strong. We'll vote for her instead.
Well, I think you were kind of alluding to this. What is she going to do? She has to go broad, but
she's going to get filthy rich.
Somewhere she will. But I don't know where that is because she's too conservative for liberal outlets and she's too liberal for conservative outlets. So somewhere there's somebody that's going to pay her.
Yeah, though. I don't know. Well, we're gonna watch it on Tuesday, and Wednesday we will certainly report on it. It will be very interesting. If she were to become very, very wealthy, I know what she should do with her money.
What?
Buy diapers.
Oh, look at you and your segue.
Stop calling it out.
I mean, look at you and how good you did at that thing.
It's a professional radio thing to do. Princess Storm is in studio with us. Hot 1041 Princess Storm, our neighbor, our sister station, our sister Princess Storm. Thanks for coming in here with us.
No problem. I love the segue. I was like, ooh.
I know, right?
Good.
Yeah, but did you see how she
right?
she just appreciated the minute?
Yeah, but she called it out too.
No, she didn't.
She loved it.
She called it out first. Yeah, I was like,
calling it out after. You did it.
She's acknowledging my call.
Annie with the radio thing. Look at her go.
She did a radio.
Oh,
wow.
Diapers. Because she was talking about politics and she needed to get the heck away from politics so she could talk about doing a good thing. So how about money, diapers, Princess Storm?
All that money that Liz Cheney is going to make is going to go to diapers.
It should.
I agree.
It'd make me happy and make Princess Storm happy.
It definitely would. A lot of families are in need, and I am doing my second annual diaper drive. You know, a lot of families were affected by the flood and pandemic and just post-COVID and just life. So I am trying to reach a goal of 50,000 diapers.
Amen.
That's awesome.
This is so cool because people who listen to the show know that I just love my babies and I have 4 of them and I've bought a lot of diapers for myself. But especially at a time right now where costs are rising for everybody. And if you can't choose not to buy diapers.
Yeah, that's like something you can't go without, you know, and think about it. It's only 700 boxes I'm actually asking for. We go through that as a mom. Like within a year.
Yeah.
I have a son. He's 2. Like you said, you have 4 babies. You definitely bought over 700 boxes of diapers.
Yeah. There's a part as a parent where you said yours is 2. So not potty trained.
Yes.
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 Get him out of those diapers.
He is potty trained. We've been potty trained for almost like 3 months.
So Princess Storm, I don't know how there's so many different ways you can do it. Boy or girl?
I have a boy.
Boy. Okay. So I think this is that this is supposed to. My experience is it works better with girls, but I only have 1 boy. And
no, you're right.
2 potty trained girls. But you're supposed to just let them go pantsless. Did you do that?
So I didn't let them go pantsless.
That's not what I thought you were
I mean, like at home.
No. I did let him wet himself a couple times, and that's all it took.
Because they don't like it.
Yeah, he said, "Oh no, Mom. Oh no, I need to change." And I said, "No, you did it. You say it." And he's like, "Oh no." And the next time I changed him, he's like, "Oh, I gotta go potty now."
Amen,
and I was like,
little
"Okay,
boy.
problem."
That's fantastic. Well, yeah, I can think of like the several times where you're supposed to dedicate. I think it's like 3 straight days to being pantsless. I mean, the kid, not. I mean, not the parents.
It's a long
Maybe
weekend.
This is why it didn't work. Jared. No, I'm kidding. He's going to be mad at me now. But when it comes to getting to your about 2, that's pretty early. That's fantastic that you were able. Like 3 is usually the deadline because if you're putting them in preschool, they're like, you got to potty train them.
Yeah, no, I just really I spend a lot of time at home sometimes on the weekends when I'm not working. And I really was like, bro, when you can hand me a diaper and say, Mom, change me, that's where we got to stop. Like,
Yeah.
if you know this means, hey, come change me, and you're like laying down, it's like, go to the restroom.
So you've used your platform on 104.1. Tell me a little bit about what you do on our sister station, just so people can get a little bit more familiar with you, Princess.
So I'm Princess Stormm. I am on Hot 104.1 from 3 to 7, Monday through Friday. The show is called The Stormm Show. And I love being a mom. I love being a parent. I want all the babies in the world. I love to help out moms. And when I had my son, I really just connected with a lot of my listeners. They helped me name my baby. I threw a baby shower. I donated gifts. So once I became a mom, we always talk about the glitz and glam of being a mom, about the baby shower, having the baby, coming home, all the cool things, but we don't talk about the hard things. And one thing for me was diapers. Every time I went to the store, I would just buy a box. I would buy the next size up. I'll buy 2 sizes of the next size because I never knew when something would affect me. And I'm always like a pre-planner. I plan everything out to the T. And I'm a perfectionist, or I try to be in control. And I just found that diapers was something that people needed.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, here, have my extra boxes. Go take these. Go to have this. And that's pretty much how this started. But at Hot, I am the assistant program director over Hot and 96.3. So I'm always moving and doing things. So they're like, how do you have time to raise 50,000 diapers and help with 2 radio stations? But I'm like, with the help of the community, we can get this done.
Well, and it's a priority for you because as you've been here when we brought on the 2 urban stations into the Odyssey family here in St. Louis. And when I heard about you doing this, I was like, I want to help you. I want to be a part of this. Like, you've already laid the groundwork. People know that this is who you are and what your brand is. And I asked you, I was like, can I help you? I don't want to like, you don't need to put me on it or in it or anything, but how do I use what we have over here? Because this is absolutely an intersection of what you're trying to do and what we're trying to do is help people in a real, purposeful, tangible way. And I'm calling you out, folks, high expectations from the please don't embarrass me. I'm working on some things in the background, hopefully to help Princess Stormm's diaper drive be a huge success. But if you're listening right now and you've ever thought, like earmuffs in the politics, Princess Stormm, but when we talk all the time on this show about being responsible and helping our neighbors in need and not waiting for somebody else to show up or for a government initiative to show up to provide that, show up right now and donate diapers, because that's the way we take care of one another. And here in this Odyssey family here in St. Louis, if there's anything that 97.1 or the Annie Frey Show listeners can do to support this wonderful cause, we want to do it. So tell me, Princess Stormm, exactly what people listening right now can do to get us to that 50,000 goal.
Yeah, so you guys can go drop off diapers at the St. Louis Diaper Bank. That's 6141 Edsel Avenue. Or you can, hit me up on Instagram. It's at Princess Stormm. The name is real simple, at Princess Stormm, Stormm with 2 M's. And you can, say, hey, I want to volunteer, or hey, can you send me that address again? I'll make sure that you guys get it. And I will be out at different pop-up locations. And I'll make sure I tell you so you can come out to one, or you can send, some friends and we can hang out. But I've been doing different pop-ups at Sam's Clubs, at Walmart's. I've been at, the Diaper Bank. And I just really been trying to push this initiative. And my son's there too. So he's like, give me diapers.
That's the way to do it.
That's like, yeah, give them diapers. People feel bad.
Put the kid out there, and maybe I could bring my kid out and have her be pantsless. I mean, like, that kid needs a diaper. We're getting a lot of comments here from people who are listening. Vicky says, just tell us what we need to do. Brandon says, we need more things on air like this diaper drive. And always nice to have some new voices on the show too.
Thank
so
you.
Princess, thanks for coming in here. Amy on YouTube says, we're here for you, Princess. Love this idea. And Vicky says, make sure St. Charles is included in drop-off spots. So I was talking with Steve a little bit, my boss, and we're talking about potentially how we can maybe do something where we can collect and then give them to as an Annie Frey Show donation to the.
Oh, I love that.
Would that be cool?
That's awesome. I need the help. I have about like 3,000 diapers, but the 50 is so large. I'm like, keep bringing it in.
And let's let's overshoot that target so big.
That target is huge.
That's a huge target.
Every time I wake up, I said, why did I say 50,000?
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to make it happen. And we're going to help you because your initiative at Hot 1041 and using your platform to do this. When I heard about it, I want to support you. And I know we can.
Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate you guys for having me on, and thank you so much. Once again, the address is 6141 Edsel Avenue, or you guys can go to the website at hot1041stl.com, just to make a donation. Or if you can't, pull up, you're at home, you don't want to leave the house. I'm trying to make sure that everyone can donate.
Yeah. And we will share all of that information as well on our socials and link to the Hot 1041 events page. Princess, thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a great day.
Can't wait to help you blow this goal out of the water. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, there was something that was suggested should be canceled, and you know how we love cancel culture. So we're going to throw cancel culture right back in its face, and we're going to have a little fun when we come back. And it does have to do with the midterms coming up. So don't go anywhere. The Annie Frey Show will be right back. Vote on the YouTube poll. Do you believe it's possible that the FBI had just cause to raise President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home? The Annie Frey YouTube channel. We're live right there. Go vote. Back in a minute. Don't go away.
More than ever, this is where St. Louis is coming to talk. Computer, smart speaker, radio, phone. People are gathering here. Thanks for listening and staying connected. 97.1 FM Talk.
So Michael's Flooring Outlet online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com. Your destination for flooring shopping in St. Louis. Why? A few reasons. The first is they're a St. Louis owned and operated business, a family owned and operated business. Supporting one another in that way is so key. And Michael's Flooring Outlet, a longtime partner with 97.1 FM Talk, is waiting to meet you. And make sure you mention that you're part of the 97.1 family, the Annie Frey Show family. They'll be happy to hear that when you go in to shop for your flooring, residential or commercial flooring. If you're looking for hardwood, something that mimics hardwood, tile, Mohawk Smart Strand carpeting. If you're looking for something for a small space or a really big space, Michael's Flooring Outlet is there to help you. A couple of other reasons: quality and value. You want to make sure that your hard-earned dollar is going to reach as far as it possibly can, but you don't want to sacrifice quality while you're doing it. Michael's Flooring Outlet has 3 locations. You can visit the one nearest you, and you can find all the information, the location, the hours, the phone numbers online at their website at igotfloored.com.
How's your mental health? I'm listening with Jewel.
One day I was in a dressing room trying to steal a dress, and I was like, I'm a statistic. I'm homeless, I'm stealing. And I realized if I don't change something, I'm going to end up in jail or dead. And I remember this quote that was attributed to Buddha that said, happiness doesn't depend on who you are or what you have. It depends on what you think. And so I decided to see if I could turn my life around one thought at a time.
More at imlistening.org. Talk saves lives.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800. windowworld.com.
I'm Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group. I'm proud to say we are a family business. Through innovative financial tools, my nephew Bob and I are committed to making sure your retirement nest egg is kept safe from market declines. As a matter of fact, we have never lost a dime of our clients' money, and we won't lose any of yours either.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, and the secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. As we look ahead at the likelihood of increasing volatility in the market, it's important that you protect your nest egg from market losses, as that's the engine that drives your retirement income.
Our family would like to help your family retire comfortably and keep your retirement safe and secure. Call us now for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement review. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of my second edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. We've been helping retirees and pre-retirees retire with confidence for 36 years. Call us now, 314-993-9494. Or online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Hi, my name is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. In honor of our newest location in Cottleville, for any new customers, simply come into any of our 6 locations and ask us to pay the first $50, and we will. That's right. That means brakes, suspension, alignments, air conditioning, even our auto body work. Please come see our team or visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad and service.
Oh, yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
On a boat, on a beach, in the water, in the sand, in the back of a bar, cold beer in your hand. Breaking hearts, breaking necks when we rolling down the street. Heads turning all day when they see what we need. I'm thinking everybody better stand in line, 'cause they need to know that your body's coming with me tonight. They're like, hey, who that dead with the shades like?
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. The weirdest off-air conversation we've ever had just took place.
You think?
I'm going to throw up.
I would say it's on the Mount Rushmore of weird conversations that we've ever had, for sure.
Would you?
Can we retire using Mount Rushmore? That should be offensive to all of us.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. What was his name? Jalen Rose?
Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose last week said that we need to retire Mount Rushmore. Why? Because, I don't know, racism.
Yeah, because people are offended by it.
So we say, should we retire it? Nay. Let's do a segment on it.
Double down.
We should. Which is how they talked about in Mount Rushmore times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely not mid-century England.
Let's. we should only for a day try to speak like in Old English.
Oh, I'm fine with that. You got 2 segments before I come in for you to get that down.
I would just laugh the whole time.
Yeah, I couldn't feel.
I just want to say nay and say it with like my gaze to the sky as if it's like a proclamation.
Mm-hmm. Any point you could make, you could follow it up with nay.
The 2022 version of that is hell no.
Yeah, I almost used that in that open.
Nay. Yeah.
But I found, I couldn't find the perfect clip, but I was trying to find Hulk Hogan going, "It ain't gonna work like that, brother." But I couldn't.
I don't know what that's from, but I bet that's a reference that many people do.
Yeah, it's just one of his lines that he uses a lot.
So we're gonna do a segment until we decide we don't want to do it anymore. Since Jalen Rose wants to retire it, we want to celebrate it because we think Mount Rushmore is pretty freaking cool. You just saw Mount Rushmore.
I just did.
You went there saying, "I bet it's going to be underwhelming."
Mm-hmm. Because everybody talks about it so much.
Underwhelmed?
No, overwhelmed.
Why are you racist?
That's a great question. I'm gonna have to put that in my campaign ad.
Why do you beat your wife?
Yeah, right.
So let's hear it. Today we're going to do your Mount Rushmore of midterm races that you're following. Ryan, I'm gonna let you go first.
Races that we're following.
Races.
Yes.
Did I say races?
Midterm race. It was right. It was right on the line. Just wanted to clarify.
I say stupid things all the time. I know this comes as a shock to a lot of people, but if you said that I said that, I would probably go, I probably did, and I didn't mean to.
You didn't, but I just was,
midterm races.
Races.
Campaigns, elections.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yes.
Ryan.
Okay.
I'm on the track.
Because I know I know the people in the room. I'm going to go with one that's a little bit more obscure because I'm going to let you guys have some of the others that we're all watching.
No charity.
Okay, no charity, no diapers for anybody.
Don't preface this with I could do these other things, but since they're going to take the easy ones.
And let's be honest too. This isn't like charity at all. This is just you flexing. It's like, look at these obscure races that I know about.
Shocker that Ryan's going to go deep dive into something that no one's even heard of, nor can they argue because he's making them up.
You guys are saying things.
Ryan would
totally
have Millard
false.
Fillmore on his Mount Rushmore of presidents.
You know what? I don't know if I'd put Teddy Roosevelt up there. I will say that.
Anyway.
I'm going to say Doug Mastriano versus Josh Shapiro.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, exactly. For governor in Pennsylvania, simply because that is such a Trump race, and it is in a big swing state, that if Mastriano wins that race, it's going to say a lot about the temperature of the country right now. He is not a heavy campaigner either. It's very, very interesting to watch him. He may be doing a lot locally, but a lot of these people, they're national. You know, Dr. Oz, even I put him down as potentially he's not quite on my Mount Rushmore, but that's an interesting race too, just because it's Pennsylvania, national names. But to me, even more so than Dr. Oz, Doug Mastriano, who is locally known there in Pennsylvania, but not nationally known, if he can pull off a win there, that is very, very significant for the next 2 years and maybe even going into 2024.
Keep going. I want all four.
Oh, all four. Okay. All right. Blake Masters versus Mark Kelly, Senate in Arizona. I know that Carrie Lake is getting all the attention, but Carrie Lake only affects Arizona. To me, Blake Masters is much more important because he affects the U.S. Senate, which affects all of us. So if that's another one that's a big Trump candidate. If Blake Masters can pull that off versus Mark Kelly, it will be rather miraculous, I will say, because Mark Kelly is polling really well in that race. Blake Masters is not very well known, but he has, and this is what's key, he has ground support that is huge. So does Carrie Lake. So if this ends up being a turnout election, just based on, rather than polls, on who's more intense about voting this year, he could pull that off. And if he does, you're going to see a monumental shift in the Senate, because you're talking about races that nobody was expecting necessarily for Republicans to win. And if they do, big deal.
Okay.
All right, that's numbers 4 and 3. Down to number 2, DeSantis versus Charlie Crist or Nikki Fried. I don't know how you pronounce her last name. Who cares? She's not going to win. It's going to be Charlie Crist anyway.
I do follow her on Twitter, mostly because I know in Florida she's going to lose, and I'm just watching in slow motion.
I know. That's actually my reasoning for watching the race.
Because she's the type of person who's like, I can't wait to watch you lose. I love that Ron DeSantis is going to win, but also,
and watching Charlie Crist too, who used to be a Republican, running against the current very popular actual Republican governor. It's going to be fun to watch what the margin is, because I don't think anybody's really predicting that DeSantis could lose that race. The question is, by how much? If it's little, that says something too. Number 1, Bailey versus Pritzker. That's the big one. We all want to see that happen. I want to put Salvi in there, but I'm much more interested to see, because of the local impact to us, what Bailey does versus Pritzker if he's able to pull that off.
Kathy Salvi, running for the United States Senate to unseat Tammy Duckworth, was on the Andy Frey Show today at 1:25 p.m. So if you missed that, go rewind on the Odyssey app and pick that up right there, or just check the podcast. We will have that up if we don't already. Hannah, do you want to tell us your races?
I do. So my 4 races that I've been watching. First one is the Senate race in Missouri. So the first part of that is I was really watching Eric Schmidt versus the other Republican candidates, Greitens and Hartzler. So I was really watching that. And now my second Mount Rushmore is also Eric Schmidt. And now he's versing Trudy Bush Valentine. So I'm watching that very closely. Also for Missouri and more hyper local to myself, I was the St. Louis County executive race. So Sam Page, Jane Duker, I was really watching that closely. And my number 4 is the governor's race in Illinois.
Yay! Love
Bailey
it.
and Pritzker, because even though I'm a Missouri girl, my Mount Rushmore is still going to have Bailey and Pritzker, because I'm so invested in that.
Can I just point out something really quick? The girl who apparently, and I wasn't in this for the segment, I heard the end of it, walking around a party talking to people about Eric Schmidt.
Do you know what your assignment here is?
Was I supposed to get gummy bears and dress up like a girl?
Yes.
That's what you got out of all of that?
Wow. That's actually the conclusion. Let's just carry on.
Okay. But did you notice the girl who was walking around a party talking about Eric Schmidt to people somehow snuck Eric Schmidt onto Mount Rushmore twice?
It's her Mount Rushmore.
That's incredible.
There's no real rules here. It's just that we want to talk more about Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Good job, Hannah. Brad, your Mount Rushmore of midterm races you're watching.
So I am following kind of the Fetterman Oz in Pennsylvania. And I like that one because it's so interesting. They're two like characters, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about Fetterman that like interests me is he is like the everyday man, but he's got very left-wing views. I want to say things like universal basic income, socialism, that sort of thing. But he looks like he rides a Harley.
Yeah.
And speaks like he rides a Harley. He's not polished. And then Oz is like the elitist. He comes from Hollywood. He's got his own TV show, but he
has his own land.
He's the quote unquote MAGA candidate. And I'm just kind of curious of how that's going to go and what implications that's going to have on the country, because it is a Senate race.
Sure.
Fetterman. I'm basically AOC, but I wear a hoodie.
Yeah, I'm AOC in a hoodie and I ride a motorcycle. But the next one that I've been keeping my eye on is Liz Cheney and Harriet Hagman in Wyoming, because I love a good trouncing, especially when somebody does it with a self-inflicted wound.
It's like having a good cry or a good laugh.
Oh my gosh.
Sometimes it just needed to go all in.
I was like, no. Go ahead. Stick those scissors in the light socket. This is going to be great.
Yeah. I don't care where Al McInnes' slap shot ends up. Even if it hits the goalie, it's fun to watch.
I just want to see the slap shot. Right. So I've been watching that one. Missouri Senate primary, I think, not primary, but the Missouri Senate race. I want to see how this turns out. I thought it was just going to be a trouncing. I still think it's going to be a trouncing, but the introduction of a third-party candidate that would possibly peel away Republican votes has my eye on it because of the national implications.
Good thing Eric Schmidt won.
But Eric Schmidt is such a strong candidate. So that's that one. And then, of course, number one overall, Pritzker v. Bailey. Because that is going to affect me more than any of these other races are.
I love these Mount Rushmores because I will start mine with Darren Bailey. Duh. Obviously, everybody knows that I'm going to say that. But we didn't duplicate anything other than Darren Bailey, did we? Because I didn't. Nobody else said my other three.
I don't think so. I
you
haven't
guys
heard yours
didn't
yet,
have any
but-
duplicates.
No.
Schmidt.
You both have Schmidt.
did.
So
actually, yeah.
that makes sense. I would kind of expected us all to say that. I don't have Schmidt on my Mount Rushmore of races I'm watching because I kind of think it's in the bag. So but I would like to see. I think Missouri's got this. Basically, Missouri, I'm trusting you with this, just like President Trump did, to handle this. And accordingly, I think Eric Schmidt is the next senator from the state of Missouri. So Eric Schmidt's not on my Mount Rushmore because I'm very confident in that. Darren Bailey beating JB Pritzker will be, mark my words, bigger than what took place in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because JB Pritzker is running his self around the country right now, acting like he thinks he has presidential aspirations, and the Democrats don't even have a president to run in the next election, and they have the presidency. JB Pritzker is a joke. He is completely and totally for himself, and Darren Bailey is actually a fantastic candidate. Is he like every other politician you've seen? No, that's why you should vote for him. Darren Bailey, that is my number one. Second one, interesting enough, Herschel Walker in Georgia.
That's a good one.
Georgia blew it last time, and they blew it big. And the entire country, your point, Ryan, saying how the Arizona Senate race affects the whole country. Georgia, you've been on my mind for quite some time, and not in like a very, very good way. Herschel Walker as a contestant, as a candidate in this race against a sitting senator, Raphael Warnock, if he wins that race, that will show a sea change in Georgia, where it all officially and finally went wrong. So the Herschel Walker race in Georgia, and then two local races, folks. In the state of Illinois, Jen Cortes is running for the Illinois state representative of the 112th district. This is currently held by the worst state representative in the state of Illinois, Katie Stewart, who has never seen a feminine product drive that she hasn't wanted to hype up as the thing that she has to bring to the table. That's it. And meanwhile, the people in the district, the 112th district on the Metro East side of the river are not loving the situation in the state of Illinois. She does not show up to represent her people. The district that she's in is a leaning red purple district, and she's as far progressive as it could possibly get in the General Assembly. Katie Stewart needs to lose in the 112th. And if you don't know Jen Cortes yet, you need to get to know her. You need to support her. You need to talk to people in the 112th district and get Jen Cortes elected over Katie Stewart. And the second one is another young woman, very smart, very talented and successful, Ashley Hunsaker, running in the 113th Illinois State Representative District against Jay Hoffman, another Democrat. These are 2 Democrat seats in the South that have to flip red, and very much so can. Both Katie Stewart and Jay Hoffman will tell you, oh, I didn't vote for this or I didn't vote for that. They get permission to not vote for things. In the way that Mike Madigan ran the state, they are baked into that cake as deep and inseparable as they possibly can be. Katie Stewart and Jay Hoffman have to lose in November. Jen Cortes and Ashley Hunsaker are new to politics, folks. They are not the polished politicians that you see come off the conveyor belt to that are out there and that have a long political career, because they're people. They are parents who got involved because the state of Illinois doesn't care about parents. They care about telling you how to raise your kids, and they care about taking your money and spending it on things that you don't that you're not wanting to invest in. Support Jen Cortes, support Ashley Hunsaker. 2 seats right here on the east side of the river. People listening right now, you likely are in one of those 2 districts. Those seats have to flip red. So quite an array of candidates. Like, there's a lot of interesting races that we just talked about here. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they pan out. We'll continue to cover them as well. Like I said, Kathy Salvi on the show at 1:25. She's running for the United States Senate in Illinois to unseat Tammy Duckworth. Make sure you check that interview out before we go. Real quick before we break.
Yeah, quick correction. Tomorrow's midterms are just Alaska and Wyoming. I said Texas just because polling had come out, but Texas is already done.
Okay. All right. Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will get the results to the YouTube live chat poll. Do you believe it's possible that the FBI had just cause to raid President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home? 3 options for you. Yes, likely. Yes, but not likely. Or no, it's not possible. Your votes, go get them in right now. And Hannah will highlight some of your responses when we come back. Don't go away.
The Mark Cox Morning Show.
Mark Carter, I saw Sam Page's comments trying to defeat you.
That's why we wanted to come on today. We wanted to push back a little bit. And I think he wants total control of the council. I think he'd love to have 7 minions that would, worship at his feet.
Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
If you are looking for the perfect haircut for yourself and you want to make an appointment and be able to stop in, get it done, and get a great haircut every time, gentlemen, have you gone to Hair Saloon? HairSaloon.com is the website you can visit and see their 16 area locations on both sides of the river. Yes, in Missouri and Illinois, you can go to Hair Saloon and understand why they have that mantra that they believe that men deserve better. Hair Saloon, with each and every haircut, each opportunity to meet you and to sit you down and allow you to sit there and relax, enjoy a complimentary beverage, shampoo, and a perfect haircut every time. Hair Saloon has been satisfying men across the St. Louis area on both sides of the river with that perfect haircut. Keeps them coming back for more every single time. Like I said, they have 16 area locations, so there's likely one near you. You just need to go onto the website and you can easily see which one's near you, where their availability is, and you can schedule your appointment right there. Again, Hair Saloon believes that men deserve better. Go get your appointment booked right now. HairSaloon.com.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
This advertisement is paid for by Lacuna Ventures, LLC. For terms and conditions, visit yourrights.legal. Attention! If you or someone you know spent time at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina prior to 1988 and developed serious health conditions such as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, lung cancer, bladder, breast, or kidney cancer, you may be eligible for significant financial compensation. Call Camp Lejeune victims to discuss your case now at 800-813-9968. Leaking underground tanks contaminated the drinking water with benzene and other highly carcinogenic chemicals, up to 280 times acceptable levels. Marines, their families, contractors, or employees who spent at least 30 days at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune prior to 1988 and developed a serious health condition. Call to determine your eligibility for financial compensation. If you don't win, you pay nothing. It's critical to take action and call now. 800-813-9968. That's 800-813-9968. Again, 800-813-9968.
Hi, this is Ken. And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Visit Menard's Lighting Showroom to find your style with Patriot Lighting. A ceiling fan is an easy way to update the look of your room and reduce energy costs all year round. We carry a great selection of styles and finishes, so you're sure to find the look that's right for you. Save today with 11% off all Patriot Lighting ceiling fans. Good through August 21st. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Get in your comfort zone with a new HVAC system and see if you qualify for 0% financing and $100 to $900 in utility rebates. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Bringing you up-to-the-minute traffic like nobody else. Sue Thomas and dependable traffic, driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Princess knew before you. That's what I said now. Princess who adore you. Just go ahead now. One last diamonds in his pockets. And that's some bread now. This one said he wants to buy you right.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Appreciate you being with us here on a Monday afternoon. The Mark Reardon Show is about to come in here and take over in about 10 minutes, so stick around for that. Keep listening on the Odyssey app or 97.1 FM Talk. Of course, if that's where you were listening to us, just got done with the Mount Rushmore of races.
You got it.
It's Monday. It's almost over, Annie. We're so close. Of races that we each individually are watching for the midterm race. 85 days. It's going to be here like that. It's going to be here and done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's going to be a little bit of a gap where we know all the candidates and we have to wait, but that'll go by pretty fast too, just because it's election season. It always does.
I am preparing myself for the post-midterm Republican majority in the House. Who knows what's going to happen in the Senate? I don't think we know yet how that's going to shake out. It could stay the same. The Democrats could take control. The map is certainly set up to benefit Democrats. So if the Democrats were to take a seat, I wouldn't be entirely shocked about it. The Republicans need to show up and do the work for the next 85 days to make sure that doesn't happen. But of course, the worst case scenario happened in Georgia, the last election. So who knows what will happen this time? But the news cycle and the way right now, every day we're talking about inflation sucks. Gas prices are high. Oh, they're not that high anymore. It's only $3.74 a gallon. Yay.
Yeah. In some parts of Missouri.
Yes.
You can get it for $3.74.
You do not need to be celebrating that.
Yeah. I mean, I heard Joe Concha make this analogy and I'll repeat it because it was so good. But when you hear President Biden come out and say inflation was 0 last week, it's like a football team scoring 42 points in the first half of a game, and then the defense comes out in the next half and you hold them from scoring anymore, but you still lose 42-0. And you're like, oh, but they didn't score at all in the second half. A really good analogy.
Gosh. Yeah. When you put the B team out. Yeah.
It's silly. So right now we're covering news as it happens. We're covering numbers, economic numbers, because they're very tumultuous. After the Republicans take the majority, there's a whole bunch of different ways they could take their newfound majority power and their investigative abilities to start looking into things. Does that become more noise, or do we actually cut through some of this information that we have had a lot of questions about leading up to this point? I don't know. It seems like it's almost always all noise. I would love to know what y'all think about that. Maybe we'll do a poll on that sometime here this week. Hannah's got the poll for today. And why don't you read the poll real quick? We'll go around the room and say what we each think before you get to your results.
All right. The poll question for today is, do you believe it's possible that the FBI had just cause to raid President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home? Yes, likely. Yes, but not likely. Or no, not possible.
Brad?
It was yes, but not likely.
I voted the same.
Ryan?
I'm going to say no, simply because of track record. I would love to trust the FBI enough to give them that deference and say yes, but not likely. But at this point, we've seen just too much from them.
So
I don't think it's possible.
You don't think it's possible they have just cause?
No.
I would definitely say yes, but not likely. And just for people who are listening who didn't get a chance to go vote, when I asked this question, I said, do you believe it's possible? And possible was in all capital letters.
Possible.
Not to influence the pool.
Yeah, that's what makes it hard, is because you go, well, I mean,
I don't know how people will answer it.
if you're telling me there's a 1 in a billion chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You're telling me there's a chance.
Yeah. So I mean, I think a lot of people are where you are, though, Ryan. They don't think the possibility doesn't exist. So we asked the people.
These numbers have been bouncing around all day, but with over 200 votes, 45% of the people said no, it's not possible that they had just cause. 39% said yes, but not likely, and 16% voted that they did have cause and it was likely.
Wow, that's more than I would have thought.
16%?
Yeah.
Same. But I'm happy because I like having people out there who, don't necessarily. I don't want you to be me listening. I want all kinds of kinds and all different kinds of perspectives out there. So 16% is higher than I thought. But 45% said not possible.
Yes.
So the highest vote total thinks it's not possible that the FBI had just cause.
Yep. 45%.
People just fed up with it. I mean, how long has that dominated the news cycle? What the FBI either has done or has failed to do for almost 6 years now? It's incredible.
I'm not going to judge anybody who thinks that, but I am going to judge the FBI that while my vote is still soundly yes, but not likely. Yes, I think it's possible that they had just cause. It's possible. All caps, POSSIBLE, possible. I don't think it's likely, though. But the FBI, pay attention. Because out of over 200 people on our completely non-scientific poll here, 45% of the people don't even think it's possible that this isn't 100% a political hit job.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. Let's hear what some of the comments were, Hannah.
Bigsby from YouTube says, regarding the poll, they found stuff they were looking for. No, sounds like a probable cause to me.
Just because they were looking for it doesn't mean they have the right to go get it. Minor detail.
I want that. I want it now.
Yeah.
Kevin.
Oh, by the way, Ryan, you have some things at your house I'd like to have.
Well, I guess it's your right to take them.
Yeah, I'm going to come over and get them.
Kevin from
Put them in your
Facebook
lawn so everybody can see them.
Yes, just because they can. Steven from YouTube says, hell no, it was totally
bologna sausage.
Roy from Facebook says, yes, but not likely. Dalen from YouTube says, probably justified. Judy just says, no. Balin from Twitch said they most likely did. And Vicky says that she was torn on the poll. She would like to think that the FBI had valid reasons, but I have no faith in them. But if it comes out that he definitely did have what they are accusing him of, he needs to be prosecuted.
And this is Vicky who is not like, she's not the never Trumper. Like, no. She's consistent there in a chat. We love all of our friends and family members here in the Annie Frey Show chat that are there with us each day. And I love to see that cross section. And I really did wonder when I asked that. Sometimes it's my goal to put this YouTube poll. I don't want to know how it's going to shake out. If I know, I don't ask the question, which is why I lose sleep literally over trying to figure out what the YouTube poll question should be. And this was one for sure that I could, in my mind, easily see going all sorts of different ways.
Well, another one would be, and there's no answer to this, which is why it's an interesting question. What happens now? Nobody knows the answer to that question, but is it going to be used by politicians to try to sort of create something new out of it? Or was it the plan the whole time? Or something else?
The biggest follow-up question that I have, because if they find something that he's not supposed to have, that's possible. I actually almost think it's likely. Why? Because every single other president who's left the White House has had to go through these negotiations. The question will be, is this how it had to happen? That, I think, is likely a hell no. Or as they say, nay. That's called back.
That's how they say it in Monty Python.
Yeah, I watched a Monty Python skit the other day and I'm like, this stuff is funny. I know. Welcome, Annie. Welcome to the party. Check out the live or the YouTube channel. Subscribe. We love when you subscribe to us and get notified. Hit the notification bell to hear us when we're live. And on the Odyssey app, if you're streaming there, the Mark Reardon Show is going to come up there as well. Don't go away.
Feeling the pinch of higher prices?
Golden Oak Lending can save you money with their low fixed rates.
James Hawkins here, president of Golden Oak. You can offset today's high prices by using the low interest